Recorded live.
What's good, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Müvment Boxing Podcast. We do this thing pretty much weekly, consistently on a consistent basis. Give you the best boxing news, the latest, analyzing and breaking these boxing matches down. You got me, co-host Twine Divine Lebedev of HoopJab.com. We got Bogart, the Truth and Facts About Boxing on today. His partner in crime, Bernard, couldn't be on. Previous engagement he had to be at, but we going to hold it down for him. Also, our brother Big Cool from Colossal Boxing Talk. So, we going to big up our homies and hold it down for him today on the show. Get it in. We got a lot of good topics to go over. It's a big weekend of boxing, like a really, really big weekend of boxing matches. Plus all the other news that's coming out right now. So we gonna get it in today, man.
And let me just
how
say
y'all
this
doing
right
today,
here,
fellas? We got 2K on as well. From the guys of Boxing Talk. You know what I'm saying? As usual, our analyst breakdown expert. So what's good with y'all fellas today, man?
What's good, fam?
I'm good, and I just want to say right now to everybody, I am not going to be PG. I'm going to be as rated fucking R as possible because I got a lot of shit that's been pissing me off over the fucking weekend about boxing.
Yeah, you might get some heated. You might get some heated debates, man, today. But Bo said
hold on, wait a minute. What that light-skinned nigga over there say? What'd he say?
I said it's about goddamn time. I'm
Let me tell you something, man.
Disney Channel, Nickelodeon ass personality, nigga.
Don't be hating because I got older and got wiser.
All right, and I just wanted to answer a quick question for Bo. He asked me what made me the divinity. I'll tell you real quick. I'm so benevolent and all-knowing. That's what makes me the divinity. So, just remember that and recognize, fella.
You need to pass some of that bullshit. You need to pass some of that off to the WFBA so they can find their goddamn divinity called integrity, goddammit.
No doubt. I agree 100%. Yep.
We better go ahead and start off with the show, man. We had a nice weekend of fights last weekend, so we're going to start off with a couple of reviews of some things. We had the cruiserweight belt with the IBF title with Denis Lebedev being on the line against up-and-coming cruiserweight Murat Gassiev, and pretty controversial decision. I've been seeing some thoughts about it as far as people thinking it was controversial. With that said, I'm gonna try and flip it up. We usually let 2K do his breakdown. I'm gonna go to Bo this weekend. Try and flip it up, But what did you think of the fight? What did you think of Gassiev winning the fight? There's a lot of things in this fight that was pretty messed up. For those that you don't know, Lebedev is IBF and WBA champion for the cruiserweight division. Only one of his belts was on the line due to a last-minute petition he put into the WBA to make sure that shit was not put on the line, and that just didn't sit well with me. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and pass it on to Bo. Man, what you got to say about this one, man?
That shit didn't sit well with me either. It was I was gonna say Richard Commey Part 2, but I'm gonna have to call it Part 3 because what you're gonna talk about later, his ass fucking bitched again. But no, that shit didn't sit well with me either because the bottom line, listen, the WBA is doing a great disservice to fucking boxing and to these fighters. This shit that they doing with letting motherfuckers petition for this and petition for that and all of that. This is some goddamn bullshit. Both the belts should have been on the line. This dude loses a fight and he still get to walk around saying I'm champion. Like, how the fuck do you walk back to your dressing room like, well, I lost one belt, but I still got my other one? How the fuck do you do that with pride? How the fuck do you do that shit with pride?
Yeah.
But as far as it being controversial, I'm kind of getting tired of people calling close fights controversial. Like, what the fuck are y'all watching? Just because you hear an announcer give an erroneous fucking scorecard, or you know what I'm saying, or you hear the judges give an erroneous fucking scorecard, all right, don't necessarily mean that it's controversial. It was a close fight. Now, when I scored this fight, I had Gassiev winning this fight. Not by much.
Yeah, it's hands down though. Like, it wasn't anything controversial about it to me either. But that's just
right,
what
not
I've been
by much.
seeing.
Now, I'm gonna tell you what I liked. From Lebedev, what I did like from Lebedev was he was moving in and out. Surprisingly, he was able to hit the taller man with his jab, and I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, what the fuck is with Gassiev getting hit with this goddamn jab? He was able to hit him with the jab. In the early parts of the fight, I want to say rounds 1, round 2, he seemed to be the more busier fighter, the more active fighter. He was moving in and out. He was throwing punches in combination. And one thing he started out doing, but for some reason it slipped his mind, he was throwing the straight left. And that shit was landing. Well, for some fucking reason, I think around 4 or 5, he just forgot about that fucking punch, whatever the case may be. So
it could be that knockdown body punch that happened in the first round.
That's another thing. That body punch, I think, took a lot of steam. Like, I noticed after that knockdown from that body punch that it took a lot of steam out of him as far as him wanting to let his hands go throwing a 1, 2, 3, 4 and getting out. He just was trying to get in, and he wasn't trying to put a lot of mustard behind his punches after that body punch. He just was trying to hit him and be on his feet so he can get out the way for any return. On Gassiev, then, what he did very well was he started out trying, like, I don't know what the fuck it is. It kind of, what is with these tall fighters fighting small? I just don't fucking get it. That shit had me beating myself in the head with, like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Letting this dude, trying to, letting the dude get on the inside, fighting on the inside. Use your range, use your distance. Now, he was able to connect with his jab. He threw the stay right a couple times. He got to the body, and I noticed when he got to Lebedev's body and he knew he could hurt him to the body, that seemed to be the only thing he was looking to try to do, was just get in there and hit him to the body.
I disagree, but go ahead, Bo. I disagree with that statement, but go ahead.
Okay.
But that's okay. Let the debate begin, man. That's what we on here for.
Yeah,
we can't go all the damn time, fellas.
No, I want Bo to finish. I want Bo to finish because he's trying to prove a point. Go ahead, Bo.
But the thing about Gassiev is I felt, and I could be wrong, I felt he started gassing out toward the end of the fight. Mm-hmm. It seemed like he was gassed a little bit, and that was giving Lebedev a chance to come back and get some punches in, gain a little confidence back. Another thing was when he was like, neither one of these dudes, whatever they were doing in the early part of the fight that was making them successful, it seems like in the second half of the fight they just forgot about that shit. And I'm like, man, what like I said, Lebedev was landing his jab. When he would throw the straight left, that motherfucker was landing every goddamn time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why did he abandon that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why did you abandon that jab? Why did you abandon straight left? Same thing with Gassiev. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm saying for the sake of my life, well, fucking Gassiev maintain fucking foot position. Like when you're fighting a lefty, you got to keep your foot on the outside. If you watch Nicholas
Absolutely.
and Lomachenko, when Nicholas Walters had success, there was only 2 moments he had it, is when his foot was on the outside of Lomachenko. And Lebedev was able to turn this motherfucking Gassiev, and I swear for the Lord, 2K used this phrase, Gassiev was fighting like he had concrete motherfucking feet, like somebody tied a boulder to his ass. I mean, this dude he was, I'm not going to say slow, but Lebedev was able to spin him around, and while being spent around, the only thing I felt Lebedev didn't do was when he was spinning him around, he should have made him pay a couple times for allowing him to be in that position, but he didn't. But to say the fight was controversial, no, it wasn't controversial. It was a close fight. I had Gassiev winning, but I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. But I watched both these dudes, and I was licking my chops for Usyk. Like he gonna get you 2 motherfuckers up.
They not fucking with Usyk, man. Usyk heads above water. The man at 190.
But that's my break on that. But as far as the WBA is concerned, man, something needs to be done about these motherfuckers, really. I mean, this shit is bad. This fucking shit is horrible. How do you go back to, like I said, how do you go back to the dressing room and call yourself a champion when you just lost the fucking fight? Mm-hmm. How do you do that? Like, how do you justify him having another title defense?
how many years does it take to motherfucking consolidate 2 belts? Like, they've been saying this shit since, what, 2014?
2000.
They're not really
how long does it take to
why.
consolidate? That's a motherfucking, it's a facade, man. You know, that's
the only reason why it's consolidated at the welterweight division because Keith Thurman was already holding that belt, and when Floyd retired, they bumped him up. That's the only reason why that motherfucker got consolidated.
That was they got lucky with that shit there. You know, but as far as every other division, they like creating chaos, you know, and you know the thing that's really creating chaos is this interim title, and they keep putting on motherfucking interim title belts. Like, why do you need an interim belt? Why not just have it go off your rankings? The top number 1 guy goes against the motherfucking super. Like, that's fucking simple.
Exactly.
You know, cut the bullshit. But with that said, I'm going to pass it on to 2K, man. We got to get on with this show. We got a whole lot of topics to go, and I know 2K want to go ahead and do his contrast to Bo's input.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to disagree with. I agree with Bo, majority of it. The only thing that I would disagree with is how he said that Gassiev was actually only looking for the body shot after he hurt Lebedev to the body. I disagree with that because that's exactly what I wanted him to do, but he did not do that. Instead, Gassiev was actually doing a lot of 1-2, 1-2-3, step back, 1-2, all up top. He may have added a body shot here and there to the bottom, a shot to the body here and there within combination, but I wanted him to either start at the body, give me like 2 to the body, then come up top, or start up top, then end at the body. He never did that. He never showed any punch variation. He also, like Bo mentioned earlier, and I mentioned on my channel when I broke this fight down, he also lost foot placement later on in the fight. Beginning of the fight, he actually had foot placement. He kept his left foot on the outside of Lebedev's right foot. So whenever Lebedev would circle, he would circle into Gassiev's stronger side. So it gave him better opportunities to land the punches that he wanted to land. Later on in the fight, he started gassing out, just like Bo said, and he lost foot placement. Actually, I think the foot placement was so fucking important that I really stopped watching the upper half of the fighters. I was watching the lower half more than I was watching the upper half in the fight, okay? And when he started losing foot placement, that's when you saw Lebedev doing a lot of movement. He was doing a lot of backing up. He was jabbing, circling left, circling right, pretty much doing whatever the fuck he wanted in the ring. And that's only because dude was gassing. He's only giving me 1-2s. Now, in reference to Usyk, if Lebedev's movement could trouble Gassiev, Usyk's movement will possibly knock this motherfucker out without even punching him.
Yeah, you know Gassiev's been on his ass before, so, you know,
exactly.
Usyk probably definitely has a good chance at putting him down.
And I'm being ridiculous with that, but I'm saying his movement would be way too much for Gassiev. Plus, Gassiev takes too long to start. In the beginning of the fight, I gave the first 2 rounds of Lebedev, and then I think it was round 3. That's when he started picking it up and into round 4. But this dude has a lot to learn. Abel Sanchez, prior to the fight, said Gassiev is the cruiserweight version of Gennady Golovkin, and I wholeheartedly 100% disagree, even though I'm not a major Golovkin fan. Just by looking at, you know, the skill set in the ring, Gassiev is nowhere near a Gennady Golovkin as far as I'm concerned. I think if you look at them being hittable opponents, you could probably compare them there, but that's about it. Yeah. Of course, Abel ain't gonna make that kind of comparison. I think he's talking more about the power. You know what I'm saying?
We chop it up with Diesel Boone, Darnell Boone a lot, and he trains actually with both of them, and he said Gassiev pretty much, like, when he hits the wall in there, like it moves, or when he hits the bag, it moves the whole building. So, like, he's got some power.
And that's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
That's all fine and dandy, but I'm watching the fight. I'm watching a guy in Lebedev who's been knocked out before recently by Guillermo Jones, and this dude was eating Gassiev's power, and the main reason for that was because Gassiev was loading up on his punches and he was he wasn't twisting his fucking hip in his shot. The only time he really twisted his hip was early in the fight. That's how he got the goddamn knockdown with the left-hand body shot. But later on, when he started gassing, it was all loading up, trying to use as much power as he can, generating from the upper body, and that's how he uses power in boxing.
Gassiev is a big guy. Like he's got a pretty muscular build. All the guys at 190, but like he's a little bit bigger. Like it's just a little stockier for some reason. Lebedev has this short, stocky look. That's just him.
Yeah.
But, as far as Gassiev, like he has a lot of muscle mass on him, and that's not something you really see. Usyk is a lot more.
And that's why he gassed.
Dorticos is a little bit leaner.
I agree.
Yeah. So pretty much, I'm 2K got his, and I'm gonna say the premier fight that I want to see in cruiserweight, even though Gassiev is up and coming. I talked to Abel in Vegas, and he said, he's got a lot of things to learn still. He's only 23. They see him moving up to heavyweight eventually by the end of the day, at the end of it. But, he's still learning a lot. But he doesn't carry the fundamentals of a typical Abel Sanchez fighter as far as being able to cut off the ring. Like, he followed Lebedev around the ring. He didn't cut off the ring. He followed him. And that's not something typical of Abel Sanchez fighters. Like, they know how to cut off the ring. If you look to his past, Miguel Angel Gonzalez, Orlin Norris, Triple G, like they've always been able to cut off the ring on their opponents. And that's something that he needs to prove on. It could be the muscle mass that affects his his footwork and movement. We don't know. So he definitely has a lot to improve on.
The problem with most hard punches is they do gas because they throw everything hard.
Exactly. That's like I said, he was doing everything with his upper body, man. And boxing, power generates through your legs. That's why Manny Pacquiao has so much power. And that's where Gassiev was fucking up. He wasn't turning his hips and his shot.
Nope.
But as far as the controversy goes, I think I 100% agree with my man Bo. Complete bullshit. I had Gassiev winning 114-113. I could definitely see Lebedev pulling it out by a point or a draw, but it's not a controversy whatsoever. The right man won, in my opinion.
All right. With that said, we're going to move on to the another big fight we had last weekend, the title eliminator for the IBF, for the 135 title to face Robert Bunny Easter. We had Denis Shafikov facing Richard Commey, who just lost to Easter a couple months back. So they ran it for IBF title eliminator last weekend. That said, Shafikov came out with the victory. Commey wasn't happy with the decision again. With him, he always whining about a goddamn decision. To me, I don't think there was anything to whine about. I think the decision was correct personally. I'll pass it on to 2K. Go ahead, break it down, man. Do your thing.
Man, I got to disagree with you, my man. But look, I agree with you on one thing. He shouldn't be fucking whining because the fact that Denis Shafikov did get the official decision, it's his fault. Okay? He gave this fight away. Why? Because he had the reach, he has the boxing ability, he has the height, but his dumbass neglected to keep the fucking fight in the middle of the ring. He kept putting his back on the ropes. Now, Shafikov is what I like to call a 135-pound version of Ruslan Provodnikov. Some about them fucking cobs. You know what I'm saying? The cobs from Russia. They apply relentless pressure. They don't really have a jab. They come forward like crazy. You can jab on them all night long. They don't really have much head movement. There's no defense. So it's really, he's a one-dimensional fighter, okay? And when you're fighting a guy like this and you are a boxer, the one thing you never do is go to the fucking ropes. You keep your back off the ropes. You throw combinations and you turn them. You throw combinations and you turn them. That is your fucking game plan, okay? Because that guy can only get inside of you. That's all he can do, all right? So while I'm watching this fucking fight, man, and I'm seeing Commey, he's throwing his jab, throwing his straight right hand. The beginning of the fight looked like a fucking boxing exhibition. But then I guess he got gassed, or he's just that fucking dumb that he just decided, hey, fuck it, I'm going to go over here to these ropes and put my hands up and let Shafikov put in that body work on me and make that shit look good in front of the judges. That's what the fuck he did for the entire latter half of the fight. And that's why the judges gave Shafikov the decision. Now, one judge had it 116, 112. I think that's ridiculous for Shafikov. The other one had it 115, 113. I have no problem with that. Me personally, I had to fight 115, 113 for Richard Commey. But I see why the judges gave it to fucking Shafikov, because he literally gave his fight away, man, by not keeping the fight in the middle of the ring. I mean, that's his bottom line. But now that Shafikov is going to be the mandatory for Robert Easter's IBF title, I don't see Robert Easter making the same mistake as Richard Commey or Rancis Barthélemy. Before I pass it to Bo, I don't know what it is about Denis Shafikov, but for some reason, these guys in the 135-pound division that are excellent boxers like Barthélemy and Commey, for some reason, they give up their ability and they give up their fucking IQ, and they decide to make it a dogfight with this guy when they don't have to. Both those guys should have beaten Shafikov convincingly. And I'm talking like 116, 112, 117, 111. Both those guys should have beat him. But instead, they both made it close fights because they gave up their IQ. Hopefully, Easter Bunny doesn't do that, but he may. But I'm going to go ahead and bank on him not doing it.
All right. Bolo, what you got to say on this one, man? What you think of the fight? What you have it scored in your eyes? How did you score the fight? And yeah, pretty much what do you think about the aftermath as far as, you know, Robert Bunny Easter facing Shafikov up next?
Okay, let me say this right here. I personally don't like motherfuckers bitching, complaining, and all of that. All right? But in this situation, I understand because I actually felt, and y'all know I criticized the shit out this nigga. I actually felt like Commey won that fight. But the problem is, like 2K said, is if I'm a judge and I know at least how Shafikov fights, and I see him doing more of what he does in the fight than I do Commey, then I might lean toward Commey. All right? But to 2K point, when the fight started, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, damn, fuck, this nigga gonna win. I can't stand this black ass motherfucker. That's what I'm saying watching this shit. Because he started boxing, but then I started noticing every time his back foot would fill that corner, instead of him moving and sliding out, he wouldn't do that. He would stand there and try to box or cover up, and was giving Shafikov would come in. Then, like Shafikov would come in and step back, then he would slide over. But it seemed like every time, and he was going, which I don't have a problem with your boxing, so he's trying to create space, so he's stepping back. But it just seems like every time his back foot touched the rope, or touched the corner, you know, this motherfucker kind of went into freeze mode. Then later on, going into the fight, he allowed Shafikov to come in on him. Now the problem is, and this is the only thing I can equate to is, motherfuckers fight Shafikov like this because it's an ego thing. They want to be the motherfucker to knock him out or to prove him, you know, you just ain't going to bull over me or whatever the case may be, because Rancis Barthélemy had me cussing in Spanish at his motherfucking ass at my television, all right? And Commey, although don't get me wrong, you know, I got something against him bitching and moaning and complaining, but in this situation right here, I definitely see his point. But then again, you made it like this because of the way you fucking fought. You had this fight in control, and you allowed Shafikov to. I mean, you allowed Shafikov to get in on you, to work your body, to make it look like even if he wasn't connecting, you made it look like he was winning the fight because you gave up your ring generalship to him, so it made it like he was running the fight. And even though he was aggressive in Shafikov, but he was aggressive enough to the point where the judges might even sway his way. You're fighting in somebody else's backyard, dog. You have to make sure there's no fucking doubt that you're the goddamn winner. When you go back, watch when Usyk fought Milwaukee, there was no goddamn way when that fight was over, motherfuckers knew, hey, man, this dude won the fight. Whether we like him or not, he in his backyard or not, he won the fight. But that didn't happen in this situation. Now, you know, I I'm personally like in this situation. I don't care to hear this nigga bitch. I'm sorry. I just don't care to hear you bitch. I just don't care to hear that. You know, fuck Twitter. Fuck you complaining. I don't care to hear you bitch. You had 2 chances. All right. You fucking blew it. It is what it is. But in this situation right here, I definitely see his point because, like I said, I scored it for him winning. I could see people giving it to Shafikov, but I actually thought Commey won the fight. But Commey gave the fight away. You can't. I really can't. I mean, 2K touched upon it all. He gave the fight away. Instead of this being a boxing lesson, this turned into a Shafikov type of fight. And again, if I'm a judge and I know how this dude fight, right? And I'm hearing the crowd roaring and jumping up and everything like that, I'm gonna think, okay, well, you know, dude is fighting his fight. He must be, you know, the guy winning. And that's what happened. I mean, but now Shafikov, I'm with you. Hopefully, Robert Easter don't do what Commey did. My only fear is when he fought Commey, he kind of did that a little bit when he fought Commey. Robert Easter did.
Yeah, he did.
But hopefully,
he did.
Yeah, hopefully against Shafikov he don't. But I don't know. I'm with you, man. Like Shafikov is the 135-pound version of fucking Ruslan Provodnikov. I don't know what it is with these calls, man. Motherfuckers
I'll tell you like this, man. It's not going to play out the same against Bunny Easter because Shafikov doesn't have a jab, like 2K said.
No,
he doesn't jab his way in. So Easter is going to be popping that thing out there. He's going to get caught with a right. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be good night. We going to see Shafikov go good night that fight. I guarantee you. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to stand up to that right coming. You know, he doesn't have a jab, like 2K said, and that's going to be too detrimental against somebody with the size of Bunny.
He doesn't have a jab, and Shafikov stays on the fucking center line, man. I mean, if you throw a straight right, that bitch going to land every time.
He's right there. So let me go into my little analysis, though, man, because I actually disagree with both of you as far as the fight. I had Shafikov winning.
Well, you don't know shit about boxing anyway, so we cool with that.
Yeah, here we go. See, and that's that Cuba Loco. That Cuba Loco we been talking about, man. He crazy already in the head. You know, he think he's 6'1", 175. You know, lying ass motherfucker. Lying motherfucker.
170. Hey, y'all saw the photo. 172.2, nigga. Stop.
That was from the senior that was cussing your ass out on the phone before you took that shit. He was out on the scale and you took it. Took that picture of him on there. You know what I'm saying? He was cussing your ass out.
Oh man!
But I actually had a score opposite of 2K, 115-113 in favor of Shafikov. And I honestly, I'm gonna play Bernard this week, man. There's a couple of swing rounds in there to where I could be like, I could honestly see the 116-112 for Shafikov if you know what I'm saying, if you judge those swing rounds. Now my thing with Commey, he started the fight wrong with his jab. His jab wasn't aggressive, man. Like he was pawing with it, you know, early on. He didn't put nothing on it until later. And, you know, that was one of the things, like, early on in the fight, I think he had Shafikov looking like motherfucking Mike Tyson in there, you know, the way he was slipping punches. You know, I gave first round to Commey, but, you know, after that, you know, fucking Shafikov was slipping his jab. You know, 2K mentioned something, Bo and 2K both mentioned the whole foot placement, the righty against the lefty.
Yeah.
I don't know why people always neglect to watch Floyd Mayweather when it comes to fighting southpaws.
Right.
Yeah.
He could not defend the jab against southpaws. That was his kryptonite against Oster early on in their fight. Until he was able to land his lead right hand. The lead right hand. If you ain't got the foot placement, throw your lead right fucking hand. And Commey did not do that until the second half of the fight. You know, it was just something he negated to do. I just don't think, you know, his power punching stats as far as his KOs is very deceiving. Because when I look at him fight versus, you know, Bunny Easter, you know, he had him hurt once, almost put him down. But, you know, other than that, like, I haven't seen the power. You know, Shafikov, I didn't really see him. He hit him a couple of good times, but it wasn't nothing that, you know, had Shafikov in danger. So those numbers are kind of deceptive. When I see him fighting, it looks like he paws with his punches. But with that said, I gave first round to Shafikov. You know, I had a 115, 113, but my swing rounds were round 5, round 6, and round 10. And I gave round 5 to Shafikov. I gave round 9 to Commey. And I gave round 10 to Shafikov. You know, we had this issue with the Sean Porter Keith Thurman fight to where one person was landing the harder, crispier shots. So I'm like, I kind of think that is a detriment to judging a fight sometimes. But you know, judges were probably looking at that in this fight. Shafikov landed the harder punches as far as, you know, his hooks to the body. He was able to land this overhand, like this weird looking Maidana like left hook on Commey. Like he was landing that shit at will in the latter end of one of the rounds. One of the rounds he was just landing that will against Commey. And so I think judges were looking at that a little. That could have swayed their decision in some rounds because, like I said, I had 3 swing rounds. So it easily could have been Commey winning or even a draw. But, you know, like I said, I could see the 116, 112. Anything beyond that is kind of very ridiculous because it wasn't that dominant. With that said, we're going to go ahead and go on to our next topic. Well, I actually want to ask you guys something else. What do you guys think happens with Commey now? Like, what does he do in the 135 division? You know, he's kind of played his card as far as with the IBF. Do you still think he can make some noise against some of the other guys at 135, like the Flanagans, Garcias, you know, Vladikainen, you know? So what do you guys think on that? I'll ask you, Jay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get it twisted. He's still a talented fighter. I just thought he just fought a dumbass fight in this fight. So, I actually think in a rematch he'll beat Shafikov because there's really not much that he would need to adjust. It's just
just put some steam on his jab from Jump Street. Don't paw with it because that's what allowed Shafikov to get in early. When he was aggressive with his jab and put it out there with some steam, Shafikov was a little hesitant coming in. You know, it wasn't the same thing. So I think he's a game. He's always a game opponent. Now, if you ask me the same question about Jermall Herring, the guy that got knocked out, that Shafikov knocked out right before this fight, I'm gonna say no, motherfucker ain't gonna do shit. But Commey's already been fighting at that level when he fought Easter and gave him a hell of a fight. So yeah, he's always gonna be a game opponent.
I got to agree on that. I got to agree with 2K. I mean, he's definitely going to be a game opponent. I mean, when you look at the 135 division outside of Robert Easton Jr., Flanagan, Linares, you got Mikey Garcia. So outside of those guys, other guys in it like Coleman and Felix Verdejo. I mean, come on, you know. I mean,
yeah.
And you know, I'm not trying to talk bad, but Felix Verdejo is tailor made for this guy. You know.
His ass beat.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Then you got some dude, Dante Jordan, I don't know who the fuck he is. You know, Anthony Croyer. So there, I mean,
oh my God,
Mickey Bay. You know, you know. Now I would like to see Coleman and even maybe Ray Beltran. I think that would be a good fight. Yeah, you still got Hank Lundy in there. So he's still. I mean, when you look at the division, except for the top guys, Coleman can still make some noise because, you know, he didn't get blown out by Robert Easton Jr. And like I said, you know, you can make an argument he might have won that fight against Shafikov. He just fought the wrong fight. But, you know, ain't nobody knocking him out or blasting over this guy. So he could definitely make some noise, especially when I'm looking at this division. I'm seeing some of these names. Baby Bull, Juan Diaz. No, man, please. Please.
Let's move on.
Better go back to being on some shit.
We're gonna knock this last review out, man. I know none of us are really cared about this fight because it had no big implications on anything. Bill Sanders versus Artur Akakov. Yeah. He won the fight, you know what I'm saying? Unanimous decision. He won. It wasn't impressive, you know, as far as like he didn't look like he did against Andy Lee. You know, I'll say that that's probably been his most impressive fight. You know, I've only seen him fight 3 times personally, and it's been his last 3 fights. Billy Ho.
The peanut butter ham man, Billy Ho. Billy Ho Sam, the ham sandwich maker. Mr. Ham Sandwich, Mr. Peanut Butter Ham Man.
You could have saved this conversation for like last when it's like a minute left. What the fuck can you say about this?
We got to. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. I'll go ahead and throw the little spin on it, man. Billy Ho was saying pretty much after the fight, he said he had to come down from 210. You know what I'm saying? To make weight for this fight, and that has something to do with his performance, and he wasn't impressed with himself. How long has that motherfucker been in that?
Fuck out of here.
210? Got 210?
That's how much
I'm gonna let you wait a minute. I'm gonna let y'all in on something. I heard it was more than that.
I'm pretty sure it was. Who cares? That's his fucking fault that he had to come down by that much. Because the nigga had 3 or 4 fucking fights that he should have took. Okay, so I don't want to hear no motherfucking sob story from this nigga, man. No sob story. Fuck this dude, man. Real talk.
How many times did this fight got postponed? What, twice? 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, but this. And
I'm pretty sure it had something to do with weight. That problem was what it was. There wasn't no fucking injuries.
This tells me. This tells me this motherfucker is not a professional. Okay.
Absolutely.
Guillermo Rigo always comes in the way, no matter how long he was off. Andre Ward was off 18 months. Okay, he had a catchweight fight at 172, but the motherfucker stayed in the gym in fucking training. Okay, you'll gain a few pounds. I get that. You'll gain a few pounds because there's always a difference between training and training camp. But you talking about a motherfucker that fight at 160 that was damn near almost 220 pounds? Well, fuck out of here, man. Dog. That tells me you're not a fucking professional. It also tells me what 2K say all the time. You want a belt, and you're the 160-pound version of fucking Adonis Stevens. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all the fuck I'm going to say.
Actually, you know what? I wouldn't even shit on Adonis that much, man. I think true. Adonis, Billy Ho has... No, but what I'm saying is Adonis,
you won the title. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you won the title in a position that you probably shouldn't have got. Like I was pissed off Andy Lee lost to this motherfucker. Like, why'd you lose to him? Why'd you lose to him?
Yeah, I'm real upset at Andy Lee for that because that was a fight he could have won. He didn't pull the trigger. Simple as that. You know.
Well, Andy Lee's a one-handed fighter. So when you take that one fucking hand away, that's what we saw.
Right, then he gets on there. Now the only good thing that I give Billy Ho credit for is what he did for that little boy. That's the only fucking good thing he did. But shit, he had to do something good because the rest of the night he spunk the motherfucking joint up. And he told us something, well, I need 2 tune-ups. No shit, motherfucker. No shit.
Fuck out of here. Hey, I'm about to go get one of them little niggas I helped train. I'm about to train this nigga Billy Ho's WBO belt. That nigga fight at 160, dog. He can make it.
I mean, we had Derek James on here, and one of his fighters was slated to possibly go against Billy Ho. And with Derek James in his corner, he was the number 7 ranked guy, I guess, for that belt. Akakov was number 11, I think. Graham probably would have whooped his ass. Yeah, Graham. Okay. I thought he was number 11, so okay, I was wrong.
He was number 10.
Okay. So, number 7 was the guy that Derek James trained, and I know Derek James is probably licking his chops right now saying, give us that fight now. We don't need to get to number 1. We'll whoop his ass right now. They're not going to take that fight. They're not going to take his ass right now,
They're not going to take that fight. They're not going to take that fight.
It would be interesting to see what happens with Billy Ho. We know he's not going to face Triple G. He's going to come up with some more excuses. It's just making the 160 division look even worse now. That's horrible. That's
horrible. Listen, Canelo, Chris Eubanks Jr., Curtis Stevens, Rob Brandt, even Willie Monroe fucking Jr. would have watched this fucking version of Billy Joe Saunders.
Hey, I don't know about y'all. I know y'all niggas like this nigga, man, but I don't know about Curtis Stevens, fam. That nigga's too one-dimensional.
Man, shit, he lost his motherfucker right there the week. Me, I wouldn't say he beat Billy Ho. Billy Ho, the Billy Ho that came in there against Andy B will whoop Curtis Stevens. Like
he might even stop that. He might even stop that nigga. Just like he might beat him worse. He might beat him worse than fucking Jesse Brinkley beat him. I mean, come on now.
No, but I'm saying the Billy Joe the Billy Joe we just saw. I think Curtis Stevens would have beat Billy Joe that night.
Oh yeah.
No, fuck that. Billy Ho that we saw, well, that y'all niggas saw. I ain't watched. I was clipping my toenails during this fight, so I missed the whole damn fight. But anyway, the Billy Ho.
You gave Seth another assignment.
Yeah, I know, right? you know what? I'm gonna ask Seth. He might have watched this shit too, though. I gotta ask the nigga. But the Billy Ho that y'all saw is better than Jesse Brinkley. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all watched that shit. Curtis Stevenson's first loss against Jesse Brinkley from the Contender. Billy Ho is way better than him. And Curtis
Billy Ho I saw last night, man. I don't know, man.
He's the same fighter, dog. He has not changed not one bit. Same fighter.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Billy Ho might beat him.
All right, we got one more fight that we gonna cover or review from last week, which was this might go up there with the Joe Smith knockout of old boy Fonfara earlier this year as upset of the year. This could probably be labeled that. We had the guy that's been. We had the guy that everybody's been saying Terence Crawford is ducking, which we know personally is not true because don't nobody know who the fuck he is still. You know, but they're saying Terence Crawford is ducking him just because he got a belt. Because he got a belt, Terence Crawford is ducking him. But anyway,
say it again, Bo. What did you just say?
What?
Oh, shit, nigga said nobody knows who the fuck he is still.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah. You know, we got, Eduard Troyanovsky. I can't pronounce his name. Hold on one second. Troyanovsky. First round knockout, like 40 seconds into the first round against Julius Indongo. 140-pound division. Probably going to be upset of the year just because there's a title on the line. You know, that said, I'm going to go ahead and there's not much to break down here, so I could start with Bo on this one because he sucks at breaking highlights, I think.
Wait a minute. I'm not, hold on. Here's what you want. There is something to break down here. Do you know what there is to break down here? There is something to break down. Do you know what there is to break down here? These motherfuckers, these motherfucking fans that just grab a hold or gravitate to any motherfucker they can to talk about some shit when they don't know what the fuck it is they're talking about, okay? Exactly. Anybody that was out there saying Troyanovsky was being ducked by fucking Terence Crawford, who just got through beating Victor Postal, lost their motherfucking mind, all right? You lost your motherfucking mind. Here's the reality. First of all, this motherfucker has never fought outside. I don't think this motherfucker ever fought outside his home country of Russia. Okay, that's number fucking one. Okay, he's never fought outside of Russia, but there's a lot of fool's gold if you look at this motherfucker's resume. He's fighting niggas 5 and 10 when he's in his 20-something fight. He's fighting motherfuckers fucking 16 and 14, 42 and 15. Okay, he had a fool's gold. He had a fool's gold fight when he fought some motherfucker that was 48 and 1 or 16 and 1. But again, I question who the fuck them niggas are. I don't know these
motherfuckers. Of 140, I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know these motherfuckers at all, period. So for anybody to sit there and tell me that here's a dude just dropped out of nowhere, listen, I don't know what the love is for these Eastern European motherfuckers. It seems like anybody Eastern European with a title, motherfuckers running around sucking their ass, calling these motherfuckers big shit.
I kind of wish you would have saved this for later because it's going to kind of make me have to go into another topic now since you mentioning it. You know, but go ahead, Bo. I'll let you finish off.
Yeah,
and I guess we're going to get into that other topic. We're going to get into that other topic after this.
I don't understand this shit that's going on in boxing where you have these motherfuckers. Like, how can you watch Terence Crawford? How can you see him going at Danny and his father? How can you watch this motherfucker and say he's ducking Troyanovsky? What the fuck kind of shit? What the fuck is going on in boxing today, man?
Hold up, Twan. Don't go on that other topic just yet, man. I gotta say something.
I was gonna let you get in anyway, man. But you know,
but being knocked out. But being knocked out in 40 seconds, all it tells me is his promoter is Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Somebody don't have an eye for talent. That's all.
Well, we've been said that about Roy because he actually trained Jean Pascal against Kovalev, and you saw what the fuck happened there. I mean, he's not a good trainer, and he's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, one of the best basketball players ever, but motherfucker can't pick a motherfucking talented basketball player. You know what I'm saying?
Kwame Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Michael Gilchrist, nigga. I mean, come on, we can go all day on this shit. Anyway, dog, I gotta ask y'all a question, and let me know what y'all think I should do. Okay. As y'all know, on my channel, The Gods of Boxing Talk, I covered immediately the day that I saw the very first article where a motherfucker had the audacity to say that Terence Crawford, number 4 at the time, pound for pound, fighter in the world, was ducking Eduard Troyanovsky, right? Then just recently, I posted the video where I covered Troyanovsky getting knocked the fuck out, and I told you niggas why Crawford wasn't fucking ducking him. Now, my question to you fellas is, in between those two videos, right after the first one, a YouTuber came on my channel and told me I don't know shit about boxing because I said Crawford is not ducking Troyanovsky. My question is, God, should I shout this motherfucker out right now?
Now, do you want the divinity answer or do you want the, you know what I'm saying, I'm keeping it thorough answer? That's
which one of y'all? Which one of y'all?
Man, you gotta take his motherfucking head off. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
All right, I'm about to say, I'll put it to you like this. This 5'9", 225 pound nigga is telling you, go in on his ass.
What's the movement now? What, we like 51-0? Yeah, 52-0.
Nigga, grab your plate and get some food, goddammit.
52-0. You know what I'm saying?
This motherfucker.
And, you know, Bo been getting all the decisions, so we kind of like got a 46 knockout because of Bo's decisions.
Bo been getting all the split decisions. That nigga been getting all the split decisions and shit, nigga.
Well, shit, hey, motherfuckers. Hey, it's not my fault sometimes I argue like a Cuban. You know what I'm saying?
He got to draw it out long drawn out decisions. They're trying to break them down over rounds. It's like, come on.
So, this motherfucker's name is the Arizona Joker. This nigga immediately came on my channel and was like, you don't know shit about boxing. Eduard Troyanovsky sparred Hank Lundy and he hurt him. You know, and then he was like, he's got trainers in
Hank Lundy?
I know. He has trainers in his corner that have an eye for talent. They don't just pick these guys out of nowhere. They know what they're looking at. Then he put the little abbreviation or the acronym for shake my damn head. So y'all already know, as soon as this nigga gets knocked the fuck out by a nigga that lives next door to me, you know what I'm saying? I made the video.
Nigga said about a nigga that lives next door to me.
I swear to God, fam, Julius Indongo lives 2 buildings over, nigga. I know the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I know the nigga. He don't even box full time. The nigga work at Home Depot part time. You know what I'm saying? She's the IBF IBO champion. You know what I'm saying? I made the video and immediately went at him. Listen, people, stop fucking like what's it? Stop gravitating towards these Eastern Europeans just because we're getting Alexander Usyk, Vasyl Lomachenko, Gennady Golovkin. I won't even mention, Kovalev, exactly. I won't even mention the other ones because some of them other ones like Gassiev and Gassiev, they're not. I don't see them as very good fighters yet. So stop gravitating towards these guys and stop the fucking hate. First it was Crawford's ducking Postal. He kills this nigga. Now it's Crawford's ducking Troyanovsky. My other example before this was Andre Ward ducking Vyacheslav Shabransky, but he beats Kovalev. And he's also ducking Sean Monaghan, but again, he fights Kovalev. Like, get the fuck out of here. Cut it out, people. Stop the hate. That's all I got to say. We can go to the next.
All right, we can move on from this shit, man. We're going to get into the topic. You know, Bo kind of mentioned a little bit. We've been talking about the whole, I guess, the comparisons between Americans and Eastern European fighters right now. It seems to be a big thing. You even see, like, a lot of Americans gravitate, like 2K said, a lot of Americans gravitating towards the Eastern European fighters. I could go in deeper, but I'm not going to, because that's not what we're going to do. We're not about that on this show. We're not going to do the controversial racial thing. You know, we're going to keep that out of here. With that said, though, Rigo kind of had some remarks that were taken out of context lately, and, you know, I'll let Bo elaborate on them, kind of in regards to the Lomachenko-Walters fight, you know, the aftermath of that. So I'll go ahead and kick it off to Bo. As far as Guillermo Rigondeaux's Twitter comments about the Lomachenko fight, and, you know, as far as his labeling after only 8 fights, you know, in a game. Go ahead, Bo.
All right. Now, first off, everybody knows how I feel about Rigo. Everybody knows how I am about Cuban fighters and everything of that nature. So with that being said, what I'm about to say, since everybody know how I feel in my heritage and my background, what I'm about to say is some real shit. When Rigo was tweeting, right, he had a bunch of tweets, and I'm looking at the tweet like, yeah, Rigo, say that shit. Yeah, Rigo, say that shit. Get in their ass, Rigo. Then when I saw that last tweet, I'm like, oh, fuck, Rigo, why did you say that? What I get his point. What he's trying to say is, the fighters that you guys like, because nobody says positive things over on HBO about Andre Ward. They don't say positive things about Floyd. I think he put a picture of Pernell Whitaker. You know, they call these guys boring. But when it's the fighter that they like or the fighter that they're trying to push, rather, okay, then, you know, when that fighter does the same thing that these guys do, all of a sudden that's accepted. I said this last time. I said, hey, I told everybody, watch the Andre Ward commentary, and as soon as the fight was over, I told everybody, I said, next week the commentary is going to be totally fucking different next week because it's a dude that they like. But by him tweeting out what he tweeted out, it's going to take away from his point getting across, because he did put some race on it. And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, honestly, and I'm going to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, although I get what he was saying, his approach was fucking wrong. Because he said, I guess you have to be Caucasian to be considered the Matrix. Well, not necessarily true, because Andre Durrell, that's what he calls himself. Okay? That's what he called himself. So to what Rigo was trying to get to, man, listen, I understand you was coming from a place of frustration, and he wasn't, and for people to think he was just talking about Lomachenko, no. Yeah, Lomachenko's hashtag, you know, he put HBO and Bob Adams on there. Because despite what people want to hear, what people fucking believe, bottom line is Bob Arum never wanted to make this fight in the first place. I don't think it had nothing to do with him being scared Lomachenko or lose. He has something against fucking Rigo. That's my belief. Because you know how much you pay. You know how much you paid this dude for his highest purse. So when you offer him something less than that, you fucking know what you're doing. I'm sorry. People can tell me what you want to tell me. That's like if I give you $1,000, Twan, and say, hey, man, here's $1,000, man, to fix my car. Then the car go wrong again, I give you $500. You be like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Dude, what the fuck? It's the same problem. So he knew what he was doing. But for Rigo to put race to a nickname, that's the issue. You brought race in, it's a nickname. And what do I always say? When people do stuff like that, when there really is an issue, you just took away from it with that right there.
Yeah. People don't people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to hear it, man. That the whole race part is, you know, even now
they'll deal with it. Well, they'll deal with it if it's something validated for you to deal with it. As far as you talk about a nickname, okay. And here's the thing: everybody got nicknames. You call yourself El Chacal, which is the Jackal. Okay, and on the flip side of that, Frampton calls himself the fucking Jackal. So are you sitting there saying, I guess you got to be considered the Jackal if you from the UK? No. So I get where he was going. I just think in the content of how he was trying to get the message across was poorly wrong. And let me say this. Rigo, and, Rigo is my brother, okay? Rigo, if you are listening, tú sabes, yo tengo mucho orgulloso de mi país como tú, and ustedes son las personas de la Cuba. But you need to hire people.
Cállate la boca.
You need to go down to Rock Nation, sit down with them and say, listen, y'all need to give me some PR people. Y'all need to get some people around me that can, y'all need to get some PR people around me, or get some PR people around all of us in fighters. All right, we don't need to learn English, because if the boy knew English, I bet you a lot of people would pay more attention to him. But that was the wrong fight for him to take up for something like that, in my opinion. I mean, he was wrong.
Yeah,
he was wrong.
I understand it. I think his frustration is more, like you said, is more with Rock Nation and the stuff. He's actually the WBA. What is he? Is he the lineal champ or WBA champ right now? Because I've been saying he's the lineal champ.
No, he's about to be the lineal champion now.
Okay, so he needs to really sit down with Rock Nation, man. And I thought things were going to be good with the, after the Dazza Dickens fight. I thought things were going to start going from there. We were hearing about the Chucky Flores. He can't even get his motherfucking mandatory in the ring. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
No. That's the mandatory's fault. That nigga don't want to fight him.
And Chucky said he want to fight him, but I'm gonna put it on the WBA, man. WBA didn't drop the ball. You ain't heard nothing. Go ahead.
You talking about Moises Flores? That nigga came out and was like, he was like, nope. That's why that fight didn't happen.
Wait a minute, Flores and Rojas, Jesus Rojas, who had been talking. Same thing with him. He had been talking, and then once motherfucker stepped to him, fam, I got something else lined up.
Now this is what's gonna happen. Rigo gonna end up getting stripped of titles again, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be some fuckery. People don't want to fucking fight him. Nobody wants to deal with him. This guy is the jawbreaker.
But you know what I do want to say?
His last 3 fights, all jaws broken. This is factual. This is not us.
But you know what I do want to say?
Last 3.
This is what I want to say. And, whoever take it the way you take it, fuck it, you're going to take it the way you want to take it. The only name on Rigo's resume is not motherfucking Nonito Donaire.
No, it's not.
Leave it at that.
No,
it's absolutely not.
If you know your boxing, Rigo was facing the top guys, and he was facing every top guy. His mandatories, he wasn't handpicking nobody. There was no special selections for him. A lot of people there was no handpicked opponents for him.
They make excuses. I mean, it's guys, and I hate to say this, but it's guys that I've actually respected at one time that have clearly shown bias when it comes to Rigo. I'm sitting there talking to these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers can tell you the history of boxing, but then when you're talking about Rigo's resume, for him though, Rico Ramos wasn't shit. Ricardo Cordoba wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Joseph Agbeko wasn't shit. I mean, Joseph Agbeko is a 2-time champion at bantamweight. Ricardo Cordoba is a former WBA champion at bantamweight. Also, Rico Ramos was the
Rico Ramos was one of the guys up back then.
That's what he was killing motherfuckers,
He was the former WBA undisputed champion, and he was murking everybody. One of the best fighters of the little guys at the time Rigo fought him. But motherfuckers want to say, nah, he wasn't that good, because they have to belittle Rigo because they need to have some type of fuel to actually support the whole decision or the blackballing of Rigo. That's how they support it. They belittle his resume, and it's fucking ridiculous. I can't stand it, fam. I can't stand it. I mean,
I don't see how you call somebody that's breaking jaws boring. I can understand he was out of the ring. How long was he out of the ring before he had his first fight with Rock Nation? The fight where everybody was saying, it wasn't that good. He should have knocked him out and all that. He was out 16 months.
It was 11. No, it was 11. No, it was 11 months. 11 months.
Okay, 11 months.
Yeah, so you talking about a year layoff, ring rust. Rigo admitted to it himself. You know, this is the same thing we were talking about with Nicholas Walters and Lomachenko last weekend as far as that kind of time off facing elite fighters. You know, and, you know, it's not even an elite fighter. You face somebody normal, like you haven't been in the ring. You know, I know Rigo stays in shape. We know that. But as far as getting those real competitive rounds in, sparring in a real fight, we both know are different. You know,
but you know what though? This goes to a point 2K said on the show that we did is the problem is as long as motherfuckers have been allowed to duck Rigo to fight another dude that they care to see him watch, nobody's gonna fucking say anything.
Exactly.
And the sad thing is, Quigg ain't got no belt now, but you know he probably gonna be talking some shit. But he probably gonna end up ducking Rigo still too. You know,
he already is.
We got done there still at 122. He ain't got a belt now. He's not gonna want to fuck with Rigo to get a belt. You know what I'm saying? He would only fuck with Rigo in a rematch for a unification. You know, that was the only thing. I guarantee you they're not going to put Magdaleno in there against Rigo right now. Not right now. No. Robles is a good-ass trainer. But, you know, Magdaleno has a lot of work to do. So he's going to continue being avoided. So it comes down to really Rigo and management, what they're going to do, man. Like, does he need to go down to 118? Because there's better fights at 118 than 126.
Go down
you know,
and go down and
either 118 or go up to 126. Yeah,
I think you should go
I'd love to see 126 would probably be better financially.
I don't think so.
Financially, it'd definitely be better than it'd definitely be better financially.
Most of the top guys at 126 is Heyman guys. So
118 too. You know, he fucking McDonald, fucking Rashid. What's his dude's name?
Rashid Warren.
Rashid is like Adrian Broner.
Nah, he's with PBC. He Heyman.
Oh, okay then. Well, I mean, I would like to see a fight Yamanaka at 118 myself personally.
That's a good
maybe
fight.
Even try to look to see, or maybe look to see if he can get a Noya.
So is that what he's going? Is this what his career is going to become? Him fighting in Japan? You know, this is what we were trying to get away from when he signed with Rock Nation.
Right, hey man. Right. If he can make enough noise over there, who knows? Maybe come back and I agree. Because,
so with that said, I'll actually save this question for later. You know, I'm not even going to ask you now because you got another topic dealing with that old situation with RN. We're going to kick it off to our another topic with 2K's boy is big homie from prep school, you know, from the prep school days. Daniel Jacobs.
Man, get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Hey, man, hold on, man. Wait a minute, Dougie.
Before he changed his name, what was he called in prep school? What was he called in prep school, 2K?
2K got a picture.
Go ahead.
2K got a picture of him and Daniel Jacobs playing in the sandbox and shit when they were kids, man.
Fuck out of here, nigga. Look.
He thought about having his firstborn after his best friend.
Look, y'all niggas would never catch me hanging out with a nigga named Daniel Eugene Rutherford Jacobs, nigga. Real talk. Yo, never let me see him hang around with a nigga like that. Now, I will say this, though. If this fight gets made, he might get his name back. I'll stop calling him that. If he fights Triple G, I'll stop calling him that.
Okay. So with that said, I'm going to say this is the most recent update, the up-to-date, like the last minute shit. We up to yesterday, we thought we pretty much had a final contract come. You know, everything was agreed upon. It was going to be a HBO pay-per-view. Financials were finally agreed upon. Madison Square Garden. You know, this is what we were hearing just yesterday. So today, we come to find, that shit ain't happening. None of that, they was lying about that shit. We going to purse bid again. We finna go to purse bid.
Yep.
Now, with that said, I don't know, man. I don't even know how y'all want to address this shit, man. It just don't make no sense to me for them to be so close to a financial decision and then go to a purse bid, which ultimately failed before because the money wasn't in the pot. and it was a 75-25 split. Yeah, I want you guys your take on it. It seems like I'm hearing Jacobs wants 30%. So that might be the barrier right there to break down. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Bo on this one. What you think about this, man? Is this fight gonna happen or not?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna give my mic to the floor to Daniel Rutherford Jacobs' best friend, 2K, and you can come back to me.
All right,
yeah.
Go ahead, 2K.
I was gonna say, by the way, I appreciate that, nigga. Good job, honor your father, man. Appreciate that. Anyway.
You just gave him the whole reign to say knowledge reigns supreme.
Yeah.
He gonna start calling himself KRS-One now. Because he's over here doing that NFL shit, deferring to the second half, nigga.
Shit. I was gonna say, man, like, Daniel Jacobs, man. First of all, I don't think this fight is gonna happen. It's obvious because the whole reason why the fight didn't happen earlier on in December is because of the whole 75-25 split. But check this out, though. As much as I've been a critic on Gennady Golovkin, I'm actually on his side on this one. This is the reason why. I want y'all to chill for a second. This is the reason why. You got to understand the situation that's happening here, okay? The WBA already has a slice of the pie cut for Gennady Golovkin if this fight goes to purse bid. So what essentially happens is if Gennady Golovkin says, hey, I'll give you 30%, he's essentially giving him a piece of the pie that's already cut for him. It's already cut and set aside and it's in the refrigerator waiting for this nigga to come home from work, heat it up, and start eating it. What he's going to do is he's going to give him a piece of that by his own free will just because he loves Danny Jacobs or whatever. I understand 100% why K2 and him would want to go to purse bid because it maximizes their income. But at the same time, my heart is like, dog, Danny Jacobs has no chance in this fight. I mean, and it's simply because of his chin and his lack of defensive ability. He has no chin and he has no defense. Therefore, you will probably knock this motherfucker out within 5 rounds. Okay? So go ahead and give him his little 30%. It ain't doing shit for you. It's just a negative 5% that you're losing. But at the same time, like I said, hey, this motherfucker's like, no, bitch, you want to fight me? I am the recognized champion, which means if this fight goes to purse bid and they still can't get a fucking deal done, Danny Jacobs will be the one that gets his title strip, not Gennady Golovkin, because he is the recognized champion in the division or in this organization. So, I mean, it's kind of that's on Gennady's side. On Jacobs' side, again, as I said before, once your number has been called to be great, right? And if you truly want to be great, you have to step up to the challenge no matter what the fucking issues are. Prime example, Floyd Mayweather stepped up to the challenge on 3 separate occasions. First one was on fucking Diego Corrales, where Diego Corrales came into the fight 10 pounds overweight, fight night. You know what I'm saying? He was taller, he was stronger, he had the reach. You know what I'm saying? He had the advantage. He had the purse split. Nigga was number 5 pound for pound in the world at the time. That's all Floyd had to go up against. Then with Arturo Gatti, a fighter that he's obviously better than, right? He still had to be the second guy. And then even in that matchup, Bob Arum stiffed him out of all his money. That's why he had Bob Arum in court for all these years. So Bob Arum could pay him the money that he didn't pay him for the Gatti fight. And then he stepped up again for the 3rd time against Oscar De La Hoya, basically relinquishing everything all the way down to the size of the fucking glove just so he could step up to the challenge and be great. Now, for Danny Jacobs, it's like, dog, if you step up to the challenge and you really have the confidence in your skills, which I don't think he has because the motherfucker already conceded on camera that he's second best in the fucking division, right? But let's just say you supposedly have the skills you think you have, right? Or you have the confidence in the skills that you think you have, right? Well, then, if you beat this motherfucker that everybody is like saying is so scary, he's number 2 pound for pound in the world, he's this and he's that. If you beat this motherfucker, then you make more money on the back end. That's what happened to Floyd. He didn't make shit against Oscar, but after he beat Oscar, motherfucker was making multiple millions every fight after that. You will get paid on the back end. So take the fucking 25% if you truly believe you can beat this dude. But we both know you don't think so, so you won't take the 25%. Therefore, I don't think the fight's going to happen.
Now, I'm going to say this because both fumbled and gave up the rock to the second half. Now this nigga going to have to wait till overtime because I'm going to step in. Pretty much as far as Jacobs is concerned, you know, we had this talk before as far as the money goes. It's kind of hard to expect for a motherfucker that made $1.5 to, you know, the $2 million to fight Peter Quillen to take a step backwards to fight a guy that's easily getting 3 million purses automatically. You know, not even for his pay-per-view shit. You know, this is just his regular cable air feed. Especially, you know, we talked about the Dominic Wade money, you know, all the other fights. So, you know, I can understand Jacob's position as far as, you know, paying, you know, and this is some of people's, I guess, anger with the whole PBC business model as far as overpaying the fighters because it's putting a damper on this match as far as it even happening. And I really don't think it's going to happen. Jacobs is going to end up relinquishing that belt. This is actually the only fight he could have at 160 to where he would make some.
Exactly.
So I kind of got to go against 2K sentiment saying he would make it on the back end. Like against who? There's nobody
no,
at 160 or 168. You know. If this nigga
beats Gennady Golovkin, do you understand how many opportunities open for this motherfucker from 154
you
to 168?
mean as far as endorsements, 160, 168? You know, like you know, like where's the money fights as far as what he was demanding against Golovkin on the back end?
If this motherfucker beats Gennady Golovkin, he's probably instantly going to be top 5 pound for pound. He will have opportunities to fight anybody from 154 to 168. It will just be up to him to make the decision to take those challenges that will be offered. Motherfuckers will be looking at Jacobs like, yo, I'm trying to take that nigga's belt. Like a whole bunch of cats. I think even Canelo will fight Danny Jacobs.
Oh, yeah. Of course, with a win, he's going to become the lion. Yeah, he'll be the lion.
There's a big payday right there then. Yeah. There's a big payday right there then. Canelo would fight him. That's a huge payday. If he fucking beats Golovkin and Canelo says, oh, I could beat this nigga, and they decide to fight, which I think would happen, that's your big payday right there. Right there. Okay. And he has a hell of a lot to negotiate with.
Good point. Canelo's probably the only one that draw that. As far as anybody else at 160 or 168, I can't really say they got the drawing power of a Triple G. That's all I was kind of wondering where you was going with that. But I'm glad you clarified that and, you know, broke it down. So, Bo, what you got to say, brother, man? You in overtime now. Yeah.
You know, there's a problem when the peasants feel the need to upset the apple cart of the king. So I'm gonna let y'all have that today because we're talking about something. Now, here's the thing. The problem that you're running into is an argument can be made on both sides. An argument can be made that a guy shouldn't take less than his highest purse, but an argument can also be made that if you beat this dude, then you can write your own goddamn check. If you beat him, then you become the man. You can write your check. The problem is that people are blaming Golovkin. They're blaming Jacobs. They're not to blame. K2 is his promoter. They're in charge of negotiation. And if I'm your promoter and I know I can get you the lion's share of something, then I'm going to do my fucking job and get you the lion's share. If I know I can get you 75% of whatever purse bid is taking place, then guess what? I'm going to get you that 75%. All right? Then people are blaming Jacob, saying, well, he should just take the fight. We don't know what people in his ear is telling him. No, man, you shouldn't take less than 1.5 because this fight, we feel, is more than what the fuck people are reporting. Like, you got people reporting that, oh, this fight is only worth $3 million. This fight is only worth $4 million. And my argument to that is $3 million is what we saw him fight Dominique Wade for. How you going to tell me Jacobs is only worth the same amount as Dominique fucking Wade?
Yeah.
You know, the whole purpose of that fight. So the problem that you have is there's arguments that you can make on both sides. As long as you have 50% of people that can argue one side and 50% that can argue the other side, then this is the situation we in. But the biggest problem, again, the WFBA.
Absolutely.
They created this goddamn mess by having this motherfucking belt. Okay? Daniel Jacobs wanted to prove himself, and I said this, and I stick by this to this day. When Daniel Jacobs fucked up at, when he beat Peter Quillen, his stock was on the rise. Instead of him fighting a Curtis Stevens, a Willie Monroe, Gabriel Rosado, who did he fight? Sergio fucking Morta 2. And when he fought Sergio, and when you fought Sergio Morta, because here's the thing about, like 2K has a saying that he said, boxing about what have you done for me lately, okay? When you sit down, when Floyd Mayweather sat down with Manny and said, okay, Manny, you want to make this fight, but here's the problem. I did 900K, you did 300K. Don't talk to me about no 700 with Timothy Brad. No. Don't talk to me about old shit. Let's talk about what just happened recently. And what happened was he fought Sergio Morta 2 in a fight nobody wanted to see him fight. If he'd have fought Willie Monroe, Curtis Stevens, Gabriel Rosado, or even landed the Saunders fight, he'd have had some leverage power because he'd have said, okay, after fighting Quillen, I fought another big dude and knocked him out. Or, another top guy.
Well, that's why we hate the whole Billy Ho thing, because him and Andy Lee was official. Like, that shit was going to go. Like, said and done. Fucking St. Patty's Day, I was out there covering this fight against Quillen. They was already saying that shit was a go. You know what I'm saying? And then Andy Lee dropped the rock and lose to Billy Ho, and now we got this big debacle going on now.
But that's the problem that you have is that instead of fighting, I still believe if he'd have got Willie Monroe, Gabriel Rosado, Curtis Stevens, any of them dudes, and beat them, knocked them out, or whatever the case would be, then okay. But you fought Sergio Morta 2 in a fight nobody cared to fucking see you fight. Like, it was a senseless fight. After fighting a guy like Peter Quillen and knocking him out like you did, when your stock was on the rise, you did nothing to increase your star power. So everybody's looking at you like, dude.
He feels he deserves a certain amount of respect, but
you're
saying,
it's hard, Twan. It's hard to give a nigga respect when he concedes he's number fucking 2. I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah.
It's hard to give a nigga respect when he could. Do you think Earl Spence would ever tell us that he's the number 2 guy on the Earl Spence ain't got a title. He tell you right now, I'm the number 1 motherfucker at 147.
Yeah.
Earl Spence ain't even got a title, and he'll tell you I'm the number 1 motherfucker at 147. So it's hard. It's hard to man. It's just hard to get on Daniel Jacobs' side when, like 2K saying, he's already conceded that he's number fucking 2. So once you concede you number 2, you got everybody looking at that saying, well, take number 2 money then, shit.
Exactly.
Good point. Let me get y'all spin on this, though, man, because we thought we were pretty much there at a decision, like, not without the purse bid, that it was going down once we heard the pay-per-view. To me, I felt like that was the only way this fight was going to get made, just like the Kovalev Moore fight. HBO's budget is HBO's budget, and that's just what it is, man. Especially with what Jacobs is asking for. Do you still think that's going to be at play, or how does that affect this purse bid affect all of that? Because I've never heard about a purse bid being involved in pay-per-views and shit like that. It almost seems like this probably going to be a regular HBO, because you think about a 75-25 split on a pay-per-view event. There's probably going to be a little bit more money. I won't say a lot more. So let me get you guys' take on that as far as numbers. You guys still think this is a pay-per-view possibility, or is this going regular?
Well, let me say something real quick. I was one of the few that thought the fight still wasn't going to happen, even when they had the date, the venue, and the fucking network. And that's evidence off the video I just made on my channel yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I told Seth played like he was getting ready to clap. And when I announced that, I said, hold up. Don't clap yet. Put it maybe about 75%, but don't clap all the way because this shit ain't fucking official yet because they got 7 days or whatnot to get to a purse bid. I said, if it goes to purse bid, this fight will not happen. And that's how I feel, even pay-per-view numbers, whatever we're talking about, I don't think the fight's going to happen. But let's say if it does, even if it goes to purse bid, it's going to be on regular HBO. It's going to be on regular HBO. You can't pay-per-view a fight like that with that type of purse split.
Yeah, okay. Definitely agree.
It's going to be on
anything you want to add on that, bro?
Yeah, well, I just feel not just the purse split, it's going to be on regular HBO because you can't justify this fight, period, being pay-per-view, especially with the fuckery that's been going on. Like, how do you promote this fight with everybody feeling like Jacobs is scared? How do you promote this fight? I mean, at least with Canelo, it was, we just knew he had a chin, but, that's not how Canelo wasn't scared. He was moving up. At least, Canelo and Khan. I'm talking about Canelo and Khan. These are Canelo and Khan. Canelo and Leon Smith.
Find a way. It's number one against number two.
No, you can't promote a fight when you motherfucker was scared, man. I'm sorry. You can't promote a fight when the general public say a nigga is scared, man.
Jacobs would have to turn into Adrian Broner overnight, fam, up until the fucking fight date.
And that's not his nature.
And I'm like, if you look at people like us, we wouldn't take that shit serious no way if it came from Jacobs. That ain't him. So I don't think that's the way to sell this fight at all.
Once the general public is scared, dude, they can't take. Think about this, dog. 2K down there in Texas. Niggas can't take 2K seriously because they know he's scared of me. So. I owed you one for that Eminem comment, nigga.
Wow. Y'all super wild tonight, man. We go ahead and kick it off to our next topic on that note. Man, we still got a lot of shit to go through tonight, fellas. Shit, where we want to take it? I guess we go with the little fellas on this one, man. We had Naoya Inoue versus Kohei announced the other day, man. That's a pretty nice fight, man. I'm not hating that one at all. I'm gonna go ahead and let Kohei break it down on this one. He loved the little fellas. That's his big thing, man. So go ahead, man. What you think of this fight being made? I know Kono just is coming off a loss. He's a little bit past his prime.
He took it.
Man.
You just kind of took it right out of my mouth. Like it's not too much to break down for me personally, man. Kono is a guy that turned over a new leaf, man. Early on in his career, he wasn't terrible, but let's just say he was a guy that was in the division that if you're looking at him, you're like, oh, he'll probably never be world champion. He'll be a nice gatekeeper though later on in his career. And then he grew to become an actual world champion. But now, like you just said, he's getting older. He's past his prime. So he's going back to that status he was at before he became world champion. He's already hit his peak. And him losing in his last fight against Luis Concepcion, and he did not look impressive at all. He got his ass whooped until probably like round 9 where he finally turned the pressure on that he was supposed to do early on in the fight. And he probably didn't start winning rounds until then. Against Naoya Inoue, you have to be on your A-plus game from round 1. And Inoue is a whole nother fucking animal from Luis Concepcion. So I don't like this fight for Kano. Even though he's still a high-level guy, there's scenarios in boxing where you have 2 high-level guys, right, in a given division, but it's evident that fighter A is still just no match for fighter B, even though they're both high-level guys. I think
is this a cash out? Is this a cash out? Is that what you're saying, TK?
It's possible. I mean, you can't really cash out at the little weight.
Those two in Japan, though, that's a cash out over there. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that. I mean, it could be. Maybe Kano really wants to beat Inoue and become champion again. I don't know, but I give my man a good 10%, maybe 5% chance to win this fight, man. So I think Inoue is gonna get him out of there. I'd say around 7 or 8. He's gonna get him out of there.
All right, Bo, what you think about this fight being made? As far as Naoya's next fight, I know he wanted to go after Chocolatito. You know, that was pretty much the name he's gunning for. As far as this being a replacement belt, until that could probably happen, if it does come to fruition at all, what do you think about this fight, Bo?
I like the fight if it's a listen, like 2K said, ain't really much you can say. Like 2K said, Kanu, kind of turned over a new leaf. He's trying to become a different type of fighter. But as far as I'm concerned, I think this is just Inoue just trying to stay busy, trying to stay sharp. Because, he's trying to get, This is
a good stay busy fight, though. That's what I'm saying.
That's Inoue's MO. That's Inoue's MO. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like about him. That's his MO. So he's fighting, this guy Kono, and then, of course, you got the other two cats up there. One dude in his division, Concepcion, but I know the dude he really wants is Roman Gonzalez. So this is just a stay busy fight that he can get Roman Gonzalez. But I agree with everything 2K said, man. You have to be at the top of your game when you're going in against a guy like Inoue, because, the dude is called the monster for a reason. He doesn't fight like most Japanese fighters I've ever seen. The dude straight up in the mirror. It seems like
he could be from the States easily.
So, man, I like this.
I actually like the fight personally. For it, like you were saying, if this is a stay busy fight, I'm not mad at this being a stay busy fight compared to who he fought last time around the stay busy. I know 2K was going to say something, so I'll go ahead and let him go ahead and get that in.
It's just a little bit, man. I was just going to give a better example of what I said earlier about, if you've got two high-level guys, but it's obvious that fighter A is just no match for fighter B. Perfect example, when Paulie Malignaggi was a 147-pound champion, and at the same time Floyd Mayweather was the champion at 147. They're both high-level guys, but it's obvious that Paulie Malignaggi is no match for Floyd Mayweather. You see, that's kind of what this is. You know what I'm saying? But minus Kanu being a champion.
That's true.
Definitely agreed. We'll be talking about the other champion. We'll be talking about the other champion as far as Louis Concepcion later on in the show. But that's actually a fight I see coming to fruition soon. Actually, is Concepcion against Inoue. Like I could see that fight happening over Inoue against Chocolatito. Like I don't think Chocolatito wants to take that fight against Inoue personally.
Not out of
especially right now, considering the shit that happened with his trainer passing away. Like Chocolatito's gonna lose, man. Y'all just don't know. Like the writing's been in the cards already. Yeah, the writing's been in the cards already, man. And him losing his trainer recently, it's just not gonna bode well for him. And him even fighting Inoue without the trainer that he's been with all this time. It just doesn't bode well for him, man. But with that said, we're going to kick it off with some women's boxing, man. We don't get to talk about them often, but, we definitely pay attention when we can to them. We got Cecilia Braekhus with her next opponent announced finally.
Whoa.
Kiara,
you did not introduce her right. Introduce her right, fam. Introduce her properly, fam.
I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to, because I got a lot of ladies out there that be listening. And, you know,
I
can't be labeled, you know, putting that label on them like that.
All right, I'm gonna do it
mad
then.
at me if I do it.
I'm gonna do it then. This is Bo from Truth and Facts, and the next topic we're going into is the most beautiful woman in combat sports. Period. Cecilia Braekhus. I'm gonna pass it over to Twan so he can introduce the topic.
Man, I'm finna block this nigga, man. I'm finna mute this nigga, man. He finna get muted for that shit. But we got her. It looks like she'll be facing Kiara Svenson in her next fight to defend her titles. 2K, he's big on the women's scene as well, so we're going to let him get this. Clara Svenson, it's looking like they'll be fighting around New Year, you know, January 28th. Svensson 17-1 from Sweden. 2K, have you seen anything about her? I haven't seen Svensson fight. Of course, we've all seen Braekhus fight. You know, that's our chick right there. But have you seen anything as far as Svensson? You know, she's 17-1. Not a lot of power. It seems 17-1 with 5 KOs. What can you tell us about this possibly happening? Is this a big fight for
Braekhus? It's not a big fight, no. I mean, not for Braekhus. For Kiara, it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, that's like, you know, Floyd Mayweather telling, you know what I'm saying, you know, a guy like Keith Thurman, hey, bro, I'm going to fight you next. But Keith Thurman going to be like, oh, my God, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what the fuck this is. But the only thing I can tell you guys is Svenson's she's a good boxer. She's a good boxer. That's not going to be enough to beat a girl like Cecilia Braekhus. I think she has. I'm not sure if she has a reach advantage because they don't really document girls' reach on BoxRec or any other of those boxing databases. They neglect to put a female's reach out there. But looking at the fight, it looks like their reach is either the same or Svenson has longer arms. But her boxing ability is just not up to par. Or it's not on the same level as Cecilia Braekhus, man. And plus, Braekhus has so many tools in the chest. She can outbox you. She could fight like Carlos Kawajis, or she could fight like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm extremely identical to Floyd, but she has that ability to stand there and weave your punches and counter you.
Big ass titties getting away with them hooks. I don't mind looking at them though.
Bro, don't talk about that right now. I'm trying to stay focused, fam. But man, like you just kind of knocked me off my goddamn my point. but yeah, man, she's an excellent counterpuncher as well. So just the fact that Svenson, who also doesn't have the defensive ability to stay away from the counterpunching ability of Cecilia Braekhus, I think she's going to get thoroughly outboxed for 12 rounds. But I mean, it's a good little step up fight for Svenson. She's got a lot of buzz in her home nation, so it'll be good for her. But it's gonna be a wash.
Definitely agreed. I definitely could agree with you there. Man, the experience, but you got to throw in the experience factor at that. You know, this is a 11-12 fight difference, and Braekhus has been there against everybody. This is actually a mandatory defense. We don't see that often in women's fights. So I'm kind of interested to see how it plays out personally, if there's going to be any kind of challenge for her. I doubt it. I'm kind of leaning with 2K that this is going to be an easy fight for her. Bo, what's your thoughts on this one, man? I know you, that's your secret wifey, and you be, trying to get in trouble with your wife over watching her. But,
let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me tell you something, nigga. I run my house. That's why this basement door is locked, all right?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, wow.
But no, I agree with everything 2K said. You really can't add nothing to it. But Kiara Stevenson, this is a big fight for her. I'm just glad because Cecilia Braekhus, when she fought in her hometown, 9,000 people came to see her fight. There's too many ways that Cecilia Braekhus can beat you, like 2K said. Like, think about this. When we saw her sit down on her punches, and she's not known for knocking people out, she knocked out Sophia Mathis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when she ran.
Yeah, exactly.
What did she do?
Exactly.
Right, she spent her around and sat down on her punches because she probably wanted to give a good display for fighting in her home country, and that's what she did. But we also know that she can box you from the outside like Floyd Mayweather. She's exceptionally fluent, exceptionally talented. I agree. It's a wash. I just want the women's boxing to get more attention and more notice. And
I think it's definitely coming as far as with women's boxing. You know, we got Katie Taylor. You know, we got old girl from New York, Heather Hardy. Serrano, you know, the Serrano sisters. You know, I love them personally. The Serrano sisters, both of them are badass boxers. Like they could throw down. Braekhus, you know, we got Clarissa Shields. You know, she just made her debut, and she's already, you know, ready to go after some big names. So, you know, I think it's on the come up, man. It's just a matter of marketing it. You know,
she is the big name at middleweight.
Yes, she is. Actually,
Shields is.
Yeah,
ain't no big names there, but that division is more wide open than men's middleweight. I mean, ain't nobody there.
Are we looking at her going for a belt like Lomachenko after 2 fights? You know, her second fight, a title.
They should. I don't see why not.
They should. I agree.
She definitely has the skill set too. Clarissa can throw down, man. I'd pick her beating some of the men at middleweight.
Yeah. Yep, she beat Billy Ho. Billy Ho, a.k.a. the kid for the hand, man.
I tell you what, boy. Hey, I tell you what, Cecilia Braekhus can beat my ass as long as I get to go home with it when it's over.
Hell yeah. That's another topic. We're not gonna go into that on this show, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna go there. We not going there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
You know, I just want to say what show we having. We having a wonderful show with the 3 most knowledgeable guys of the movement.
Absolutely.
Shots fired.
No, you know what that's saying. We had another big announcement yesterday, I want to say. Shakur Stevenson, 2016 silver medalist from the Olympic Games. He's now when I first heard this, I thought it was a Rock Nation thing, him signing with them, so I was wrong. So I'll go ahead and clarify for people. He did not sign with Rock Nation. What he did do was officially go pro and sign with Jay Prince and Andre Ward's management team. So that's his management angle. He's not with Rock Nation, so let's not get it twisted. Just want to put that out there and be, clarified, because when I first heard it, I was kind of upset about hearing it. When I thought the whole thing was Rock Nation. That's not what it is. Jay Prince and Andre Ward have a management team, and they're going to be handling his career. With that said, Bo, what do you think about this move? Is this a good move for Shakur?
Yeah, I think it is a good move, and I'm going to tell you why. People going to agree to disagree. First of all, I don't know why nobody saw this coming. Andre Ward
is his favorite fighter. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Andre Ward is a fighter that he looks up to. He gets a chance to train with his favorite fighter idol. Andre Ward just came off of a fight that he won, so even more he want to gravitate toward that. And by him not being necessarily signed to Rock Nation, it gives him a little bit more of control over wiggle room and what he wants to do, because there's a lot of fights Rock Nation fighters can't get, be it politics or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So going with Jay Prince, going with Andre Ward, your idol, and people can say what they want to say. Like Andre Ward, you can say what you want to say. Motherfuckers call it being a diva, but I can name a lot of motherfucking divas in boxing that tried to make sure that they got what they felt they was worth. And if Andre Ward can,
we'll go into that in a minute, man.
Okay, yeah, but I definitely like this move because the reality is Shakur Stevenson is a prospect, and when you're a prospect coming into this game, and I think he's going to go to what, the 126 division?
126. So he's fighting that featherweight.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Right. So he's going to go into the 126 division. It's a deep division, and I just feel like when you are a prospect and you coming in, you want to be around cats that's going to make you feel not necessarily cater to you, but feel somewhat confident. And if Andre Ward is your idol and you look up to him, and we know how Andre Ward trained and we know how Andre Ward is as a person, that's a good fit for Shakur Stevens as far as knowing somebody has his back. So I get what people, Al Heyman to pay him money and all that shit will come. Right now, what you need as a prospect, you need to have your mind, you need your mind at ease. And signing with Jay Prince and Andre Ward, catch that you feel got your back, that'll put him at ease so he can focus on his boxing.
All right, I'm going to pass it on to 2K. Anything you'd like to add? What are your thoughts on him signing with Jay Prince and Ward's management team?
Yeah, I think it's a great. I actually thought what we thought earlier about Rock Nation was good. Yeah, it's an excellent deal.
You think Rock Nation would be a good fit with Shakur? Like, you think that would even be cool for him, or you think
Absolutely, because it's going in on the ground floor. And right now, the only two promotional companies that are actually still that have major networks backing them, and they're not falling by the wayside, or at least slowly declining, is Rock Nation and PBC or TMT. And then you got Main Events, of course, but Main Events only gives a fuck about Kovalev. They don't even care about any of the other fighters.
They don't have anybody else, really.
Well, you know what? I actually felt either Rock Nation or Richard Schaefer would have been.
Well, I think the Schaefer move would be perfect for him as far as linking up with a promoter.
That's what I was getting into.
Because he's based on the East Coast, close to where Shakur is from in Newark. So I thought Schaefer and DeBella were the two best bets for him linking as far as a promoter-wise. I'll go ahead and let you finish off. DeBella works with PBC, so as long as he's under the PBC banner, that would have been good for him, regardless of what promoter he's working with. But yeah, Schaefer as well. He's working with PBC. So either one of those guys would have been good. So that's what I was actually getting to. And you know, me and Twine, we went in about this shit for a minute, and I've been waiting to say this, but I scored an 8th round knockout of Twine, you know what I'm saying, in our debate. My man, he was a good fighter, but I had to knock his ass out, you know what I'm saying? He'll never do that again. By the way, but anyway, when Bo chimed in and said Richard Schaefer was a good fit, I actually agree with that. That was a good point. But yeah, as long as he's under one of the promotional companies that's not falling by the wayside. I mean, Golden Boy won't even know what the fuck them niggas is doing outside of Canelo. They're not doing shit. Okay, you got Top Rank. They're falling by the wayside because they just lost their major network. All right, so Bob Arum is actually using his own resources to promote the fighters that he feels will give him the most money, which is Pacquiao and Lomachenko. He's not even really promoting Crawford right now. Okay, so I mean, I'm not even going to talk about banner fucking promotions. Basically, a promotional company that, shit, I'm probably a part of and don't even really know right now. You know what I'm saying? Then you got fucking Warrior Seminoles Boxing. You know, all these other promoters, they don't have it. Dan Goosen's promotional company that's ran by his brother-in-law or something, they don't have it. They don't have it. So I think it's either one of the promotional companies under the PBC banner, Rock Nation, and then Andre Ward is probably going to be under the Rock Nation banner as well. So that, I think, is a good fit for him. It's a great fit. I could agree with the management angle as far as Jay Prince and Ward. Jay Prince built a couple of the good fighters. Ward definitely has business acumen as far as, you know, he's been in some pretty uncelebrated divisions, and he's made the most of his career as far as what he's getting money-wise and with endorsements. So I definitely think this is a good sign for Shakur with as far as that part of it. With that said, I wouldn't want to see him sign the Rock Nation, and I got one simple word for that, or two. Rigo and Cotto.
Oh my God, we already talked about this, nigga. Cotto.
No, I'm just saying they haven't done the best job as far as handling their careers, you know. So I wouldn't want to see that happen with Shakur. I would prefer him. I would say, as far as building the prospect, nah, Rock Nation ain't got no experience in that kind of shit. You know,
but you gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. Golden Boy didn't have no experience in either. I wouldn't want to be no guinea pig. They had a 70 fighter stable, fam. Golden Boy wasn't shit, and they had a 70 fighter stable.
I wouldn't want to be the guinea pig for Rock Nation, man. Like, they just ain't done it for me yet, personally. Seeing from their track record, they haven't done enough.
The two examples you just provided, Cotto is fucking up his own career. I'm not gonna blame that on Rock Nation. This motherfucker's asking for niggas that's never been to 154 in their fucking lives, let alone even weighed 154 for any fight. He's trying to get all them niggas to go there to fight him for big paydays. And then Rigo, we just talked about him. Nobody wants to fight the guy. There's only so much a promotional company can do if everybody you're trying to give fights to is saying no.
Okay, you know, I can go beyond that though. You know, look at the promotion for Kovalev Ward. This is like their premier fight. You know, even they got Miguel Cotto, who's probably I would probably say he's probably the bigger name than Ward. You know, but you know, look at their whole promotion angle for that fight. Like they just ain't got it, man. Like I wouldn't want to see Shakur go through that. You know, I don't want to see him be the guinea pig. You know, they just ain't got it. You know, Schaefer, he's built fighters. Heyman, he's built fighters. You know, DeBella, he's built fighters. You know, like they have proven track records already, man.
Those guys.
I know. Ward has the allegiance with Rock Nation, and they have some other things as far as advertisement they might be able to swing Shakur into immediately, probably before some of the promoters could. But, you know, like I said, that's his management team. They should be able to do that without Rock Nation being involved in it, you know. So I agree with the journey. I'm definitely looking forward to Shakur. Another reason why we can't see him sign with Rock Nation is because he's at 126. We can't have that, man. The politics, like Bo said, the politics involved is going to come into play. So
that's regardless, man. And like I said, I guarantee you, Top Rank, who just signed Michael Conlan is not going to get any promotion either because Top Rank no longer has the resources. Like with Crawford, they built him up because they still had HBO, and we were able to see him take a fight with the 2 weeks' notice against Bo's favorite guy, Brandon Prescott. You know what I'm saying? He took the fight with him, and we were able to see that shit because they still had HBO backing them. They don't have that anymore. That's why Top Rank and Bob Arum are like, Al Heyman, please, my bad. We're going to take away the lawsuit, please. Man, I'll suck your dick. That's why they're doing that, because they need
I got
Al
these
Heyman.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they need Al Heyman now. That's what I'm saying. Those bigger companies that were, you know, pre-Al Heyman, they're going by the wayside right now. But I agree with you guys. You know, the promotional companies under PBC banner, absolutely, he should do that. That would have been good. But either way, I'm fine with it.
All right. We got some more news coming. One of probably our favorite guy at 154 consensus-wise, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, or Andrade. I always get it wrong. We thought this shit was settled already. They got another purse bid coming with Jack Culcay on December 15th for that WBA regular title.
I'm not gonna like what I'm about to say.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to you first, man.
No, it's not about that. I just, man, I don't know.
The WBA again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I just got a message from a dude that 2K is probably not going to come on the podcast for when we bring him on here.
Ooh. Oh, shit. Yeah, I ain't going to be on here.
Who are we talking about, man?
Faber Kendo is fighting Shannon Briggs for the WBA title.
I will not.
Man, boy, you can almost see it coming with that shit with Lucas Brown, man. Like, it's not surprising.
Yeah, I said it would happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, he's over in training camp with David Hay right now.
Whatever, man.
Who, Frez is?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's getting good work in at least, but shit.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna bring him on the show. I'm inviting him right now as we speak. He gonna come on the show.
Man, that's fine. Bring his old ass on. That nigga gonna hate you after the show. Bring his old ass on.
Oh man, don't let friends get trolled on our show, man. No, I had to ask him. No, I'm not gonna do.
How is that trolling when I'm gonna spit that? That's not trolling. I'm about to spit that. I'm about to spit that. He can't deny.
Both in the play. Is he finna come on? Or let me know if he coming on or not. So I'm gonna
No. I'm not bringing him on right now. I'll let y'all know, man. I'm gonna get.
He just wanted to work on 2K's nerves right there. That's what it was.
I'm gonna give 2K a chance to come up with his mysterious illness.
But
that nigga gonna hit him fat. I'm like, you should get that shot to Luis Ortiz, right? You know you're too goddamn old. You ain't never really did shit in your career to get that shot right now, right? That was exactly what I'll say to his ass. That'd be question number one. Think twice, Bo.
You know what? I think I just have him on Truth and Facts, man.
Yeah, that man is fucking with the integrity of our shit.
I guess. That's it.
We got 2K versus Demetrius Andrade purse bid going on December 15th for the second time. I don't know what the fuck is going to be any different this time around, personally. Sauerland is going to win the fucking purse bid again. So I don't know.
And they're going to make an excuse. They're going to win it and come up with another reason why they don't want to take this fight, man. That's
Bo, I'll let you go ahead and speak on it, man. I was going to come to you first anyway on this one. What's going to happen with this? I've never seen anything like this happen as far as two purse bids for a fight going down. I don't know what to really expect here. Go ahead.
Again, what organization are we talking about, man? What organization are we talking about, dog?
Yeah.
What organization are we talking? I mean, are we really fucking what organization, like real talk, the WBA this year fucked. They fucked. Somebody, motherfucker need to take a stick of damn dynamite with C4 and some goddamn nitroglycerin and burn that goddamn building to the fucking ground. Because they ain't doing shit right there. You having a purse bid for Culcay, a guy who really, I'm just gonna say, he don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. And I'm gonna say this: after that performance Demetrius Andrade gave to Willie Nelson, I think it might have been 2K or somebody who put out a tweet. Nobody 154 after seeing this is gonna be eager to jump in there with Demetrius Andrade, and that shit is the fucking truth. Andrade needs, like when we talk about running up on people, what Andrade needs to do, what Andrade needs to do is run up on Lauder and be like, "Yo, what's up, man? What's up, man? Let's just fight. No, let's get this on and fight." I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to win that belt. But even if he wins the WBA belt, there's no guarantee they're gonna make this fight.
We already see how they doing with the consolidation shit. You know, it gives them the leeway, the power, but they ain't got to take the fight. You know. And we have yet to see the WA strip anybody. Other than other than that interim shit from Ortiz, really.
Yeah. So I'm not. You know, I ain't got much to say on this. The only thing I'm gonna say is, Demetrius, and I don't know why he re-signed with Banner Promotions. He's had issues with him before. Like, I think that's you that talk about the Winky School of Boxing or Winky
Wright School of Boxing. Yeah.
Yeah. I I don't understand why Demetrius Andrade re-signed with them, especially with the troubles that he had with them before. So I don't understand why he re-signed with them. But, he made that decision, and this is the result of that decision, which has turned out to be a bad one because he gets a fight with Willie Nelson and nothing since that fight. So here we go again with a dude who probably is the best guy at 154, but nobody's ever going to find out.
Yep.
TK, I'll pass it on to you, man. Ooh, this is one of the most talented guys in boxing, man. We'll agree. We all think he's probably the top dude at 154, hands down. Most talented guy right now. Man, what is this doing to his career, man? Not being able to get these fights, having these business issues, and he's approaching 30. You know what I'm saying? That's still young in boxing. He can still get a lot done. But, when you have a track record like he has the last couple of years, man, what does this say? Go ahead, TK.
Well, when it's all said and done, and I hope I'm 100% wrong, he will go down as another talented fighter in boxing history that was not able to get the opportunities he needed to get to show that he should be one of the top fighters in the Hall of Fame. It'll happen to Demetrius Andrade. We're seeing it happen right now to Guillermo Rigondeaux. So the problem is that he signed with Banner Promotions. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, he could want this fight 100%, right? But his promotional company, whom he stated, shout out to Big Cool's interview with him, he stated that the reason why he signed with Banner is possibly because they gave him more leeway with his career. He had more control. But what you sacrifice is promoter clout, meaning Sauerland, which is the largest German promotional company.
Yeah.
And this is a German fighter who has a belt. So that's already two negatives that are going against you. And then the big negative is your fucking promotional company is probably one of the weakest promotional companies out there. Let me say the weakest of the named promotional companies because there's thousands of promotional companies out there. It's one of the weakest of the named. So Sauerland is going to be like, shut up, bitch, y'all do what the fuck I want to do. That's what Sauerland is basically telling Banner Promotion. So with that said, like Twine already stated, they're going to win the purse bid. When they win the purse bid, like my man Bo stated, they're probably going to do some more fuckery like they did the first time around, and the fight probably won't get made. Listen, Jack Culcay gets this fight made, and Demetrius Andrade goes over to Germany. Jack Culcay will no longer be the WBA regular champion, and he will have 2 losses on his resume after that fight. It's obvious, and he probably won't even last 6 rounds, okay? So it's like, plus another thing I want you guys to understand. Jack Culcay has never fought outside of Germany, with the exception of Denmark and Finland, meaning he has not fought top American fighters before. So this would be a major jump for him. So
and it's a game banger with speed.
Exactly. So doing what? Let me mention another guy that Germany loved that hoarded the WBA belt, Jürgen Brähmer. Doing what fucking Jürgen Brähmer is doing, or was doing before he lost to Nathan Cleverly. He's doing it at 154, right? Why would he want to give Demetrius Andrade his belt? That's essentially what he's doing, just handing it to him. They're gonna do whatever they can to not make this fight, man. I don't think this fight's gonna get made. If it does, I'll be happy as fuck because Demetrius Andrade will be the champion, and we could possibly get a fight with Eric Molina in 2017. But I'm not holding my breath, man.
Man,
well, here's something that's interesting, though.
Go ahead, Bo. I'll let you get yours out.
Here's something that's interesting. Demetrius Andrade, and this is to tell you the scenario that he's in. Demetrius Andrade is ranked number 1 by the WBC, the WBA, and the WBO. I don't see Canelo Alvarez fighting Andrade. I don't think they're going to put Charlo in there right now because Jermall is about to fight Julian Williams. The only one he's not ranked nowhere in the IBF, which I don't fucking understand that.
Well, hold on, Bo. You said the WBC. Jermall Charlo is the WBC champion. Jermall, who's fighting J-Rock, is the IBF. So
but right. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't see Charlo being too eager to get in there with Andrea right now.
Well, the thing is, Hatley is actually Charlo's mandatory in the WBC, not Don Andre right now. So and we're not even sure. We're not even sure if we're going to get that fight yet, because that shit should have been made already. Honestly,
that fight is trash though. But go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, but I just wanted to make that out. Like, if you look at it, the divisions he's ranked number 1 in, do you see any of the dudes winning titles looking to fight him? I don't.
No. Canelo's definitely not. Lara, I could see them fighting, but I don't. It's gonna take a lot for that to happen. You know, like I could see it happening, but it's gonna take a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but that's the only one, and that's the only one. And the path to Lara is Culcay, and that shit is fuckery right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I just really want to see Boo Boo get his career on track, man. Like we've seen what he could possibly be. You know, he's finally got the network backing with Showtime. And you know what I'm still looking forward to, man, is them possibly coming up with like some kind of Super 6 or Super 8 for 154. All of these guys are exclusive to pretty much the Heyman and Showtime. You know, they could be at 154. So
it won't
happen.
Won't happen.
Okay, now why won't it happen? Because of the
Canelo would drop that belt immediately. Canelo would drop that WBA belt immediately.
Okay, but we're talking about a deep-ass division like the 154. That's why I'm like, it's a possibility outside of Canelo. Like, there's still a lot of good fights there, man. I would love to see it personally, man. I think this is a division worthy of a Super 6 or Super 8 tournament. I would love to see it personally. It would automatically put the best in there against the best. Mm-hmm. And they're all young, scrappy guys that could end up fighting twice against each other 2-3 times in their career, you know, between 154 and 160. So, you mean, it's needed for boxing, dog. That's what I'm looking at. It's needed for boxing.
To me, that's not.
Go ahead.
That wouldn't be a Super 8 tournament. I mean, that because you don't have Canelo, you don't have Canelo, you don't have Cotto. They're not going to be in there. I wouldn't call that.
I mean, I don't consider Cotto even a championship contender kind of dude like right now though. Like he's just fighting for money fights, you know. I don't see him fighting anybody big in 154.
I think Cotto beats he beats Jermall Charlo pretty handily in my opinion. Not Jermall, not the one that's fighting J-Rock. Jermall, he beats him pretty handily. But I don't know, man. Like it just the absence of certain fighters, in my opinion, like Canelo.
I mean, but look at the Super 6 at 168. Like, you know, it didn't have super
those
huge
are the
names
best
to carry him in the States. But it wasn't super huge names to carry him in the States. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody didn't know Froch and all them, you know, over here.
I don't care about that. It's not the name. It's the fucking talent. Canelo is one of the best fighters at fucking 154. And he's not even going to be
my thing is, if we're talking about 154 is a super deep division with a lot of depth there, man. Like, I don't think it could go wrong.
Canelo's one of them.
Yeah, and Canelo's already gone, though. Canelo's already said that was his last fight at 154, so that's already it, dog. Like, he said that was his last fight at 154 against
so why is he trying to get motherfuckers to fight him at 154 then?
I doubt it, though. Yeah, I doubt it.
Who's he been trying to get the fight since then? I heard about the rematch, but that shit. Who?
He tried to get Montez at 154.
Montez?
No, Marquez. He tried to get Marquez at 154.
Cotto?
Yeah.
No, Canelo.
Canelo tried to get Marquez at 154. Cotto did. I haven't heard about Marquez trying to get him at 154.
No,
Canelo?
I thought you were talking about Cotto. No, Cotto tried to get Marquez.
We're saying, Canelo's done at 154, dog. He said his fight with Smith was his last fight at 154. That's the last I heard about it personally.
I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they're going to expect him to fight Triple G. They're not trying to do that, bro.
I mean, even then, but we can't say he's not going to fight somebody at 160 other besides that either, too.
He'll fight him at 155. He'll fight him at 155.
Not that shit again.
Actually,
not that bullshit again.
Actually, Oscar De La Hoya has recently said he thinks that there's a good opponent for him at 160.
David Lemieux. There's going to be some in-house shit. There's going to be some in-house shit.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Man, whatever.
That's what Oscar said.
But Bo has blocked the rest of this show for even bringing up MMA on this shit. That motherfucker finna be muted. But yeah, man, we gonna kick it off into another topic we got. Well, I guess we could go ahead and do our fighter previews, actually, man, because we got a lot coming up this weekend. What y'all want to start with, man? Y'all want to do the Charlo Williams card first? What, y'all want to take it there since we already talking about 154?
Yes, whatever.
All right, man. So we go ahead and start off with the J-Rock and Jermall Charlo card. On the main event for that would, of course, be Abner Mares versus Jesus Cuellar, being on the West Coast in L.A. You know, they got to cater to the market. So that it is what it is. I guess we'll go ahead and break down Mares Cuellar first, and then we'll go ahead and go to J-Rock Williams because I think that's the bigger of the fights anyway. What do you guys think about Cuellar versus Mares, man? Mares has been talking a lot of shit lately, you know, about being rejuvenated with Robert Garcia and all that. 2K, how you see this shit happen? Is Mares rejuvenated, or is he just really washed, as most of us think?
I told my co-host earlier today, man, in the gym that Robert Garcia is probably not the best trainer for Abner Mares, simply because Robert Garcia, he's good at helping you do something more that you're already good at, right? But he's not good at introducing you to new things. Now, that may sound like a kind of a negative statement or unbelievable statement because of what he did with Marcos Maidana's jab. But the thing is, Marcos Maidana always had a jab. He just never threw it. And Robert Garcia was like, yo, you're going to use this jab from now on. Abner Mares, the way that he's been declining recently, ever since the fucking Johnny Gonzalez first-round knockout, he needs a trainer like Yoel Diaz, Virgil Hunter, Barry Hunter. He needs guys that can say, okay, that's your skill set. All right, well, here you go. This is what you're going to do with that. Robert Garcia is not that kind of guy. Therefore, going into this fight, I don't think he's rejuvenated. I think he may fight harder, but he'll be making the same mistakes in this fight. As for Cuellar, my issue with him is that he lacks a jab. I need him to jab more against a guy like Abner Mares, but he has the explosiveness to beat a guy who's fading like Abner Mares. So it's an excellent fight. To answer the question, no, I don't think Robert Garcia rejuvenated him, but it's still a very intriguing fight because Cuellar has a lot of flaws that will be interesting to see if he actually fixed those flaws in this fight now.
Definitely. Bo, follow up, man. Your thoughts on this fight as far as Mares and Cuellar? Can we get a prediction on you? Get a prediction on you on this one?
Yeah, I got Cuellar. I'm going to tell you why I got Cuellar. I don't know what Abner Mares has left. Abner Mares is 26 years old, but he's an old 26-year-old because he's been through a lot of wars, which is ironic. He's been Robert Garcia because Robert Garcia retired at the age of 26 because he was also in a lot of wars. And I say this to people all the time. The most technical fighter to come out there at Camp Oxnard is Mikey Garcia. He's the most technical dude to come out of there. Nobody else that comes out of there is technically sound. And the reason being is everything that 2K just said. Everything 2K said just said. You don't go, and I like Robert Garcia, but you don't go into Robert Garcia and come out different. You go in there and you just come out better at what you was already good at doing. So you know, this talk of being rejuvenated and all that, unless you telling me, he gonna discover something that he never had and he learned new, okay, but I don't know what he has left in the tank. And he had surgery on his eye recently, so I don't know that how that is.
God damn you, bro! How you gonna take the one thing I was gonna talk about?
I don't know if that eye has healed properly. So I got Cuellar in this because of everything 2K just said. He's still explosive. The guy, he has the ability to get inside. I wish he was using his jab more, but he's fighting the guy named Lamar that don't use the jab that much either. So
yeah. I definitely see Cuellar winning this fight. I think the natural size difference is going to play a big part over the fight, especially with the way Mares fights. Like, he's a brawler, he's not necessarily a boxer. So I think Cuellar is actually going to break him down over time, man, and we actually could see Abner Mares stop again. I think Cuellar's probably got a little bit more power than Gonzalez is pretty powerful, but Cuellar's bigger than Johnny Gonzalez, naturally. Like, he's going to fucking balloon up in weight overnight, man. Like, this ain't no small 126 guy.
Right.
So I definitely see Cuellar winning this fight. I actually would like to see Mares think about, I hate to say, tell fighters to hang him up and, anything before the time, but you're dealing with a fucking eye injury that he wasn't able to get licensed for in a certain state. Like, he was denied licensing. This prevented the fight from happening previously in New York, So I just think there's something about it that just doesn't seem right to me. Once you start having those kind of problems as well, like, they linger. Like, it's not something that's going to go away. So I definitely got Cuellar winning this fight, and we're going to step into the real show, the real fight of the show. We got J-Rock coming in, as a mandatory challenger to Jermall Charlo, 154 IBF title on the line. This has been drawn out long enough, but it's finally here. Man. Bo, I'll go ahead and start off with you. What you got to say about this one, man?
Man, this is a true 50-50 fight. Now, I said it then, I'm going to say it now, and I'm sticking to it. I'm rolling with J-Rock. But this is a 50-50 fight. Look, what I like about this fight is Julian is an alpha dog, and Jermall is an alpha dog. So you ain't going to alpha dog Jermall. Jermall himself is alpha dog. I'm rolling with Julian because I'm going to let 2K break it down. But I'm rolling with Julian for this reason right here. Jermall has been having trouble making weight. So I'm curious as to how his training can't win. If he's having trouble making weight, Julian starts going to the body. It starts becoming a hard fight for him. And not an easy fight, but a hard fight for him. How will he hold up stamina-wise if somebody's going to the body and the fight gets hard? Julian has fast hands, good boxing skill. Well, Jermall has the height reach advantage, and he tends to fight tall. But Austin Trout was having some success with the jab and some some combinations.
You got to remember Trout's a tall fighter as well, though. He's a solid fighter as well.
But I don't think Trout is any more faster than Julian. And so, I mean, Julian got an old school feel to him. He's got that true grit. So I'm rolling with Julian in this one, but it's a 50-50 fight, man, because, again, I think what's going to come down to is who's going to have the worst reaction when something big lands. Like, when something big lands, who's going to have that reaction when you be like, uh-oh, he didn't like that, and he's going to try to stay away from that. But if it turns into a boxing match, Charlo all day long. Julian cannot keep it in the center ring and turn it into a boxing match with Charlo, I believe. He's going to get inside. I don't think he should, man.
Interesting. This is one of those things that we were hearing. Like, we ain't seen all the goodies in Julian's bag, man. So, I mean, we got to hold steady on that one. 2K, man. How you see this fight going? Your prediction?
Yeah, I'm opposite of the last statement Bo just said. I told y'all guys when we had Bretman on the show that in order for Julian to win, man, he has to outbox Charlo. He has to be on the outside. He has to pump that fucking jab. This is the thing with Philly fighters, man. Me and my co-host, who's from Brooklyn, we talked about New York niggas versus Philly niggas. You know what I'm saying? Philly niggas, they thrive off of intimidation. You know what I'm saying? They on that. They like me, that alpha male shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they walk into a room, they're like, I'm the nigga in charge. Fuck the rest of you bitch ass niggas. That's Philly niggas. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, with Philly niggas, is if there is another alpha male in the room and he's not intimidated, well then a lot of times, fam, they fold because they are really thriving off that intimidation. We've seen that with Meldrick Taylor. We've seen that with a lot of Philly fighters, fam. So in this fight, Charlo, to me, is the alpha male, regardless of the fact, this crazy-ass look that J-Rock gives niggas, the fact that he goes in there and bodies people up sometimes. Of course, they're C-level fighters because he hasn't really fought anybody of note. Regardless of his background, Charlo is the alpha male motherfucker. And the reason why I say that is because, 1, experience, 2, he's bigger, and 3, he has that rude fuck you attitude. If you guys have ever
they both do. Both of them do. Yeah, both of them.
No, I'm sorry.
They are some
Jermall, hold on, Bo. Jermall don't have it like Jermall.
Nah, Jermall is actually rough. Jermall is worse, honestly. I think Jermall is a little bit rougher.
Not in the ring. He's not. Jermall is
not in the ring.
I'm
saying as far as they're just being a mean person and that dog, like Jermall is probably a little bit meaner than Jermall,
But this pertains to boxing and how they actually portray that in the ring, and that's where I'm getting at. So in the ring, Jermall is the motherfucker, not Jermall. Jermall gonna lose in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But Jermall, he actually brings that shit all the way into the ring. Like, it's perfect example when he knocked down Wilkie Camford and Cornelius Bundridge. The nigga was calm as shit. Like, when you look at him in the ring, he's just calm. He's just like, oh, look, another whack nigga trying to fight me. Let me go ahead and fuck this nigga up real quick. Even against Austin Trout, when he's getting hit with the jab repeatedly, he's still calm as fuck. Like, there's no break in this dude, okay? I don't think a guy like J-Rock, even with the Philly background, if he tries to go in there and break Charlo, that is going to be a negative for him. Unfortunately, I believe, given the background, he's going to go in there and he's going to try to out-fight and break Charlo. That's why I'm going with Charlo in this fight. Now, he can actually prove me wrong and show me that he's a smart fighter, because Charlo only attacks one way and one way only. He's calm, he waits, and he comes forward, and he's susceptible to the jab, and he has no head movement. Okay, he's looking to pretty much jab his way inside or jab his way closer to you, and that way he can have inside position on you. That's Charlo in a nutshell. He's not going to do anything different in this fight. So the game plan is fairly simple, in my opinion. It's all about execution. You have to outbox him from the outside and keep your fucking jab in his face, much like Austin Trout did. If I see J-Rock going in there trying to alpha male this motherfucker, nah, bro. And like I said, given the Philly background, I think he's going to try to do that. That's why I got Charlo by split decision in this fight, man.
I think it's something we can be proven wrong on. I like J-Rock in this fight for some reason. I don't know. It's just something. I don't know if this wolf tickets, as far as you saying, the whole Philly persona is them being, I won't say alpha dogs, but alpha males, but just being, menacing. You know what I'm saying? Having that portrayal. But it's just something about them. I don't think we have seen all we can see of Julian, all his tools in the bag. I think it's going to be a special fight, man. Like, we're going to see this is a real special fight. I know we've been saying about a lot of fights lately as far as Kovalev, Ward, Crawford, Postal. This one, I think, is actually going to live up to, really, really live up to the expectations.
Agreed.
This is one I really, really look forward to more than bigger names. Like, these are the kind of fights I love. You don't get this often. Two young guns, top of the game in a division, number 1 versus number 2, pretty much in the rankings, going at it. O's about to go. You know, I'm looking forward to this. I got J-Rock winning. I think he's going to try and body him. You know, the way TK said, you think it's going to be a mistake. I think, you know, that's what that's Julian's game plan. That's what he does. That's what we've seen from him so far. I don't think he has the reach to try and box with Charlo from the outside.
Yeah, he does.
Like
he has a longer reach than Austin Trout, and he's taller than Austin Trout. Yes, he does.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. I thought Trout was the bigger fighter personally, but so that'd be interesting to see, man. I don't see him trying to box him from the outside personally, though. We just haven't seen it yet. I think he's going to try and bully. At some point, I think we're going to see him try and bully him. You know, that like I just think it's going to come out of him. So it's going to be interesting to see a boxer against a brawler. You know, that's pretty much what it is. You know, and those are the best matchups always. Those are always the best matchups.
Well, there's a fight, particularly I think it was Joey Hernandez that J-Rock fought. This motherfucker was boxing the shit out of him. Motherfucker was using the jab. This is what he needs to do, man. The motherfucker was jabbing to the body and coming back up top. And then, so when Joey would be like, oh shit, let me protect my body. This nigga's starting up with the body. J-Rock would step back. He had a wide stance, but he stepped back and he shoot that quick ass jab up top. Then he jab to the body. Like that type of shit right there. That's what the fuck he's got to do to Charlo. He's got to do that. He did that to Joey. I think it was Joey Hernandez. I'm not sure. But he did that to that dude the entire fight. Yes, he tried to bully him a little bit, but he outboxed him. That's what won the fight for him. That's what he needs to do against Charlo, fam. If he goes in there and tries to bully a motherfucker with the type of confidence that Charlo has, and he's bigger than you, nah, man, that's not good. Like Hank Lundy, Ivan Robinson, all them cats, man, they stall. They tried to do the same thing. Meldrick Taylor, they tried to do the same thing, fam. And they ran like Meldrick Taylor with Chavez Sr. He's like, yeah, I'm about to punk this bitch ass nigga. I'm from Philly. And he was winning the fight, but at the same time, he was getting his ass whooped too. And you saw what happened in that 12th round. He overimposed himself with that Philly shit and got knocked out with 2 seconds left in the fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, it's written in history that when these niggas try to overimpose themselves on a guy with that type of confidence, they fucking lose, man. I honestly think that if he tries to bully Charlo, he could fuck around and get caught with something and possibly get dropped. Not knocked out, but possibly get dropped, man. I don't know. It's an interesting fight, though.
Yeah, we've seen Trout hurt before, and Charlo wasn't really able to buzz him. I guess it was more a matter of styles making the fight, making the matchup, that being a difference. We haven't necessarily, well, you just mentioned the Hernandez fight as far as, J-Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that fight personally, so I can't really speak on it, but I haven't seen him have a technical fight like that as far as where he had to stay outside and box. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup, man. I had no idea. I didn't think J-Rock was that big. I fucking stand next to him. He's not that tall, dog. Like, I'm not tall at all.
They got him listed 5'11" with a 72.5-inch reach.
He's definitely not 5'11", dog.
I'm 5'11". I don't know. I've never stood next to
J-Rock,
but I'm 5'11".
I'll try and find the picture, and you guys can see I'm pretty much the same height as J-Rock, if not taller. And I'm not no 5'11". You know what I'm saying? So that they got shit kind of skewed right there. The reach might be right though, because he is kind of like.
They got Trout at 5'9".
Yeah, and I'm like they probably match up side like. Trout and J-Rock are probably close in height, honestly. Like, I'll be honest with you, they're close. They're real close in height. J-Rock's not no 5'11". That said, we gonna push it to the next card. This is the HBO one. We got Bud. You know what I'm saying? The illest Nia from Nebraska, Terence Crawford, defending his 2 140-pound division belts against John Molina this weekend on HBO. honestly, at the end of the day, this is a stay busy fight and just something to fill HBO's card because they couldn't get the Triple G or Canelo shit they wanted for this date. So this is just something they put together to fill out their calendar year. So don't expect any fireworks or anything like that. This to be a barn burner. That's just me saying this off top of the head. I'll go ahead and let 2K start off on this one as well.
So, my bad. I was looking at something. What was it? You talking about Terence Crawford, John Molina?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy fight for Terence Crawford. Go ahead, Bo.
Hey, Twan. Twan, if you got a second, go to the Movement chat room. I think I know what 2K is laughing at.
All right, let me go in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's we watched Adrian Broner outbox the shit out of him, man. Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is a much better fighter than Adrian Broner. Even though John Molina is coming off a good win against Ruslan Provodnikov, and he showed that he can actually box a fighter that has Ruslan Provodnikov's style and lack of defense, he's not going to be able to do that shit against Crawford. Nor will he be able to maul him like he did Mickey Bay.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford's a much smarter fighter. He won't
get close enough to him at all. I'm glad to see this as the breakdown of the wall between PBC and Top Rank.
Yeah.
But at this expense, nah, I'm not really going for it. I guess we could go ahead and talk about this one. I didn't want to really break away from the fight reviews, but yeah, if you guys want to chop it up about this one, we can go ahead and do it. We had talked about it a little bit earlier. Cotto is rumored to be fighting finalized on HBO pay-per-view from Texas in February? Miguel Cotto is said to be finalized to be fighting James Kirkland at 154. Yeah. You see, that's that Rock Nation.
Look, I knew you were going to say that.
I'm the one to put it on blast. First off, before I don't want to be the one to say it, so I'm gonna see if y'all say it before me. Bo, what the hell is up with this fight, man? And what's good with HBO? Yeah.
Well, first of all, what's up with these motherfuckers at HBO grabbing motherfuckers that ain't fought in a long ass time and tossing them in the ring with niggas? I'm just trying to figure that out. Right? But something that's important is Cotto's contract with Rock Nation, and they want to make it a pay-per-view because they owe him $10 million for a fight.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So they're most definitely going to lose money, so they want to make the pay-per-view to see if they can get something to make up for it. They're rumored to be fighting this in Dallas, and I'm going to tell you right now, if they've been trying to make this fight in Dallas, they fucking up because the fight should be in New York because that's where the Puerto Rican fan base is.
Yeah,
you trying to make some tell some Mexicans to go see a Puerto Rican. Yeah, shit. Right. Because the reality is, if you was trying to get Andre Ward and Crawford in New York, why the fuck ain't you trying to get this one in New York? Like, I don't understand that move at all. So for them to try to have it in Dallas, Texas, I think they looking at the success Carnelo had. But again, like I said, if your point is to target, because the only reason why you can have it in Texas because of Kirkland, I don't think his fan base is that large. Kirkland may get Aaron Wolf back to train him. Don't know about that. But if the purpose of you to make some money, then the best bet is for you to have this motherfucker in New York and not in Dallas.
Are they talking about having this at Cowboy Stadium or something?
They're talking about having it at Cowboy Stadium. That's exactly what they're talking about having it at Cowboy Stadium.
No, man.
So
now you see why I say Shakur shouldn't sign with no Rock Nation. This is another point right here. Another point putting Cotto in Dallas, Texas.
I can't put this on Rock Nation because
that's not Rock Nation.
Why the fuck not?
Okay, let me explain, motherfucker. Take some of that bass out your goddamn voice when you talking to a grown ass man, nigga.
Why the fuck not?
Who's
the promoter? This ain't their fault.
But because the fighter is refusing to do something other than he's picking who he wants to fight. Look at the names that we heard: Marquez, Peterson, Lamont Peterson. Who else was it? Bradley. Okay, Nat Kirkland. All right, that ain't Rock Nation picking that shit. That's Cotto being a fucking diva. Yo. That's Cotto trying
Y'all
to cash
really would have been mad at freaking Marquez and Bradley, though? I know they ain't fought at 154, but Bradley walk around at fucking 180, 190. You know what I'm
saying? He's never even fucking weighed in past 148, and fucking Marquez has never weighed in past 146.
Like I said, I can understand the Marquez because of the weight thing, but Bradley, I think he could transition to 154 against Cotto a little better than Marquez would.
He hasn't even fought a 147 pounder yet. He's still fighting niggas in 140.
Exactly.
Bradley?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Who? What 147-pound fighter, full-fledged 147-pound fighter has he fought? None.
I don't know. Let me look, man. I'm a look.
None. Listen, the only dudes he fought, and I'll say this, and I got criticized by a motherfucker that don't know shit about boxing anyway, so I don't care about him criticizing. But the only dudes on Bradley's resume, elite level guys on his resume that he fought at 147 was Manny Pacquiao and Marquez, and neither one didn't. Like 2K said, they're not guys that train and come down to 147. They guys that went up to 147.
Shit, Marquez is maxed out at
that's the kind of stuff we're going to hold against. That's the kind of stuff we're going to hold against them, though. Like, I mean, that's kind of being nitpicky. That's kind of nitpicky. You know what I'm saying?
You sound real casual right about that.
I'm just saying that's what we going to say. Like, if the motherfucker make the weight, he make the weight. You know, it may not be natural, but it may not be natural.
Okay, but again, though, why are you picking dudes from a weight class below when you got all these motherfuckers at 154 that you can make a fight? Like, listen, dude, Tony Harrison. I don't even accept Tony fucking Harrison. You know what I'm saying?
I would too.
Brandon,
man,
you know what I'm saying?
You already know what Cotto was doing. That's why I'm like, I'm surprised at you guys' argument.
Smith. I mean, hell, I don't even accept Ishay fucking Smith.
Y'all know what Cotto was doing already. That's why I'm kind of surprised at the stance. But to me, he's just looking to cash out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't looking to really be no titleist. You know what I'm saying? He ain't looking to be no top dude.
That's what we're trying to get you to understand, that how it's not Rock Nation's fault 100% because Cotto is trying to cash out. Exactly. Yeah. That's why.
Wait, do you know? Here's a dude.
Who put Dallas, Texas, in Cowboy Stadium and all that shit out there? That ain't Cotto. That's Rock Nation.
Yeah. It's really.
That's Rock Nation.
To be honest with you, it really doesn't fucking matter. The fight is shit regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let me say this about HBO. How the fuck are they gonna put this garbage ass fight on pay-per-view? And I'm not a big Pacquiao backer, but how do you drop Pacquiao for picking Vargas, but you put this bullshit on pay-per-view? I'm sorry, but Pacquiao Vargas probably would make more money pay-per-view wise than Cotto fucking Kirkland. Come on, man.
Now,
what the fuck is this?
This is HBO's take card, man. They ain't got to lose money doing pay-per-view. That's the thing about it. But they still could come out on the back end if it's successful. So it's pretty much like them tapering their ass.
Is this shit just gonna be successful to you?
No, I'm saying it ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm saying this is a low risk for HBO putting it on pay-per-view. They don't assume any risk.
But they dropped Pacquiao for that reason. They did not want to pay for that nigga on pay-per-view for fucking Jesse Vargas, but they'll do it for Cotto Kirkland. That's a contradiction.
And the bad part about it was the fight that they went all in on didn't do better numbers than the Pacquiao Vargas fight.
Exactly. Cold War.
You know? Right. But
did not do better numbers.
It is not the same scenario, but I get what y'all saying, but it's not the same scenario.
But you talking Bradley. Listen,
how's it not the same scenario? How's it not? I'm curious to hear that.
Not the same scenario because, one, we knew Ward Kovalev was agreed to pretty much close to a year in advance. They had that shit settled. It was going to be pay-per-view. That kind of conflict. That's what I'm saying more than anything.
I know. Right.
I thought you were talking
just on
about
that end. It ain't, yeah.
I thought you were talking about Pacquiao Vargas. Cotto Kirkland's not the same scenario. Okay, no, we good.
It's not the same scenario just because it's not 2 dates lined back to back, and it's not that it's not that same kind of thing that they had with the Pacquiao and why they had to make the decision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're doing it like this, it's low risk, low risk, high reward kind of thing because they don't have to put out as much money on pay-per-views. They get it on the back end with that.
But here's my thing: if he wanted to fight. Let's say Cotto wanted to fight a 147-pounder at 154. He could have fought Spence. He could have fought fucking Sean Porter. Yep. These are guys that do walk around almost 160 and train down to 147. Yep. He could have fought any of them dudes right there. If you're talking about fighting some, that he could have. There's so many ways this dude could have went, man. I'm sorry, dog. Miguel Cotto. I mean Timothy Medina, call your boy, man. Call your boy.
I don't know. I ain't seen what he said about this one. He happy about fighting or happy about Cotto fighting? Well, what he saying?
I don't know, man. I'm definitely gonna call him to the carpet tomorrow. You better believe that shit.
Yeah. I don't really care for the fight personally. With a guy that's fighting once every 2 years, every 3 years. At one time, I would have been like, I would love to see Kirkland try and slug it out and get his ass knocked out real quick, But I don't really care. I don't really care for this fight. HBO pay-per-view. It's only going to make boxing look like more of a joke right now. Yep. It's not good for the sport to have this kind of shit going.
But
Cotto needs to hang him up if he not going to fight. Like to me, like I said, I could deal with Marquez and Bradley. Marquez wouldn't fight him at 154 because that's not his thing. But Bradley, like I said, he trains down to 147. Like I said, so him fighting Cotto at 154 is kind of fair. They're both smaller 154 guys at that. So if they were to fight each other, so it's not that bad of a fight to me. Timothy Bradley's a good fighter. He has a decent resume, solid career. He's had a solid career. It's a good fight. So like I said, I would have rather seen that one. Than the fucking James Kirkland. That shit has a whole lot better chance of doing better in Dallas and drawing a better pay-per-view crowd. It's not going to do good considering what pay-per-view numbers Pacquiao and Bradley have done. But, like that gives you a better chance at success, basically. That's what I'm getting at. So we can go ahead and get back to the reviews of these cards we got this weekend because we still got a couple more to cover, man. We got the Anthony Joshua, Eric Molina card, and man, when I say this fucking card is stacked from top to bottom, like it's pretty stacked. The main event is probably the weakest card on the belt. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess we go ahead and start with the main event. Anthony Joshua, Eric Molina. Stay busy fight. Pretty much, it was pretty much just said. Contingent on the result of this fight that Joshua will be fighting Vladimir Klitschko for the WBA super title. I forgot the date, but that's pretty much what it's looking like. Contingent upon this belt. If he does win, Klitschko fight is happening. You know what I'm saying? So let me get your thoughts on this, PK. Does Molina stand any kind of chance? Does he put any kind of pressure on Joshua? Do we see Joshua in trouble for the first time? Well, not for the first time, but do we see him in any kind of danger in this fight, period?
For Molina to win, this nigga got to fight like an amateur fighter. And what I mean by that is he's got to run in there, run as hard as he can, as fast as he can at Anthony Joshua and just start swinging for the fences. You know what I'm saying? Remember the guy that knocked down Deontay Wilder in the amateurs or in the Olympics? That fat-ass white dude. That's how Molina got to fight this fight. Straight up, fam. Like, if he stays anywhere near the outside, he will get knocked the fuck out. If he tries to think, he gets knocked the fuck out. If he's not applying any pressure, he gets knocked the fuck out. So the way this fight is semi-intriguing because Eric Molina had, in my opinion, he had very good success against Deontay Wilder, getting on the inside and hitting him with those uppercuts. He was killing Deontay Wilder with uppercuts on the inside. But the difference between Wilder and Anthony Joshua is that at that time, Wilder's better at it now, but at that time, Wilder wasn't great at keeping motherfuckers on the end of his punches. Anthony Joshua, that's his number one thing. He's great at keeping you on the end of his punches, primarily that straight right hand. So if he can get inside of Joshua like he did Wilder and unleash those uppercuts, this is a semi-intriguing fight. But I don't think it can happen, man. I really believe Anthony Joshua. Plus, Anthony Joshua, he's got faster hands than Wilder, in my opinion. And he puts combinations together better than Wilder, in my opinion. So I think this fight doesn't last past 4, man. It's like I said, it's a stay busy fight, but it does have some intrigue to it.
All right, Bo, follow up.
Nothing really to follow up, man. This is just a fight. The only thing Eric Molina brings in this fight is he's a big guy with a decent punch and he has experience. That's really much about it. Everything else is in favor of Anthony Joshua. Power, skill set level, everything else is in favor of Anthony Joshua. So this isn't a pick'em fight, and I'm not gonna go into it, but I guess that's the reason why the card is stacked, because we got some controversy bullshit going on the undercard.
Oh yeah, it's on pay-per-view over there in the UK.
Right. All right. So, yeah, Anthony Joshua. The only thing I'm gonna say is if you go back and watch the Deontay Wilder and Arreola fight, Deontay Wilder, when he's no longer dependent on his power, you can see he has some skills. The problem is, because he knows he has that power, that's where his whole thought process and his whole game plan sometimes just goes out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely could agree with what you guys are saying. 2K said there's some little intrigue here just because of what else is happening on the end as far as Klitschko possibility, which we know is going to happen now. Molina seems to think he's an improved fighter since the Wilder loss. I don't know, like, there's just something about Joshua that I've always been like, what is it? Like, I'm just missing something, like, what is it? 2K mentioned the faster hands and combos, but, like, I don't know what it is I'm missing with him. Like, it's something I'm like, is it his balance, or is it he just looks sloppy sometimes? I don't know. Like, he just looks, it's something that looks different. He's knocked out everybody he's been in there with, so, you can't take that away from him. So we'll continue watching his progress. I think he's going to be a guy that he might have a limit. Like, I don't know if he can go 12 rounds. Though that's probably what I worry about him the most is actually going 12 rounds. What's going to happen if somebody could put him to that, to actually take him there? And I don't think that would bode well for him. But nobody's took him that far, so he ain't got to worry about it at this juncture. On the undercard, we got another heavyweight fight with Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora for, I guess, White's, what is he, like the EBU title? He owes
British
one of those
champion,
British belts over there. The regional. I think that's pretty much what his career is going to be anyway, just a regional title at the end of the day. But
that's fucked up.
Shit, nah. I call a spade, man.
No doubt.
There was some controversy at the final press conference today between Chisora and Whyte, and Chisora's nuts already, man. Like, that dude just ain't got it all. He flung a table at Dillian Whyte. That dude, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they fine people or suspend them for that kind of shit over there in the UK like they would here in the States. But yeah, they nuts over there. But go ahead, TK. I'll let you go ahead and start off with this one. I know you probably don't think too much of this fight, considering the stage of Chisora's career now, maybe a couple years ago. But go ahead, TK.
Well, Actually, I disagree with that last statement. Just because Derek Chisora to me is I made a comment earlier. I said Derek Chisora has the personality to sell a fight and to get fighters pretty much to keep a fan's intrigue on a fight that he's getting ready to be in based on the antics and shit that he does. But he fails to deliver. I mean, he's like the fucking Hank Lundy of the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? With that said, Derek Chisora has never been on a high level to me. He's always been a B-, C, B- might be too high, C+ level fighter. You know what I'm saying? So, but Dillian White is also a C+ level fighter. So that's where the intrigue is. Dillian White to me is fucking garbage. I was watching him fight, the cat that Luis Ortiz is getting ready to fight, David Allen. I watched that. And I was also watching, Anthony Joshua, just going back and looking at some shit. I cannot stand his fucking balance, bro. Like, when Dillian White throws punches and he may not land flush, he just looks like he's going to fall over. You know what I'm saying? When he hurt Anthony Joshua, he couldn't finish him off because the nigga looked like he was on fucking rollerblades. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what is wrong with this nigga's balance, fam? Like, that type of shit right there, like foot positioning, ring generalship, balance, those things are the most important aspects in boxing. Like, they lead to all other success in the ring. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get that shit down, then you're not going to beat the fighters on the next level. I'm not saying Chisora's on the next level, but Chisora has the experience of a next level guy. He's fought the Klitschos, David Hayes, you know what I'm saying? He's fought these guys, and he's lost the majority of them, but he's fought them. So he can actually get the upper hand on an off-balance motherfucker like Dillian White. So it's actually an intriguing fight to me, man. It's more intriguing than the main event because I'm curious to see if Dillian White can pass his test. If he loses to Derek Chisora, in my opinion, he probably needs to be fighting for the EBU, the Commonwealth, the BVB of C for the rest of his career. If he can get past Chisora, who's pretty much gatekeeper status at heavyweight, then he will get the opportunities that Eric Molina is fucking getting. Johan Duhapis, Artur Spilka, Charles Martin, Dominic Brazil. He should get those opportunities if he beats Derek Chisora. So this is really a fight that pretty much tells us what type of fighter Dillian White is.
Man, like I said, I already think he's going to be nothing more than the regional titleist that he is right now. I haven't seen him grow under Jonathan Banks or, training with anybody from the school of Kronk. I don't know. Like, he's kind of plateaued, man. Like, I don't see him improving. Like, he just is what he is right now. Bo, I'll go ahead and let you put your 2 cents in on this one, man.
There's really nothing to say. Dillian White is nothing more than a younger version of Derek Chisora, in my opinion.
Oh, wow. That's actually probably the best thing said on this topic was that. That shit is probably true.
That's a good point.
Very true.
That's a good point.
He's nothing more than a younger version of Derek Chisora, except he just hasn't flipped out and went fucking nuts yet. That's pretty much about it, man. I mean, like 2K said, Derek Chisora, he's come up short. The only thing he's bringing in that ring experience. But if Dillian White can't beat Derek Chisora, then that's it for him.
That's it.
I'm looking at ESPN's website, and they're saying this is a WBC title eliminator. Does that ring a bell to any of you? Does that make any sense considering?
Because fuck it, I'm gonna say this, man. Look, Eddie Hearns is trying to do all he can to make that path for Anthony Joshua as easy as possible and as long as possible till he gets him to a big fight, which is the reason why I feel like he's fighting Molina is if he washes Molina quick, they're going to start pumping up him and Deontay Wilder for 2017. That's the only fucking reason. Why else would you sign Luis Ortiz? Why else would you go toward the WBC? Come on, man. Stop. Don't play with my intelligence.
Definitely hear you, man. definitely a lot of smoke and mirrors over there with Eddie Hearn, man. He talked the talk, he walked the walk, but he do some kind of sneaky shit on the under. You know what I'm saying? So him and Frank Warren over there, they got they probably the two biggest promoters over there right now. Hearn got the upper hand at the moment. Yep. Probably the bigger stable. Sky Sports backing them. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see how they promotional war is handled over there. You know, they're actually switching fighters between each other at the moment, so it's kind of crazy. Like, their back and forth fighters are going between each promoter. You know, there was actually a rumor the other day that fucking Kell Brook is leaving Eddie Hearn. You know, I was actually hearing that recently, so I'm like, man, this is pretty crazy what's going on over there in the UK promotion-wise right now. But they are pretty much the hotbed of boxing. If you watch any of the shit on Sky Sports and you see their shows, it's always fucking live, always. You know what I'm saying? They fans come out and support. I wish shit was like this over here in the States.
Well, you know what, though?
You know?
Here's the thing. Think about something for a second. Joe Calzaghe. Joe Calzaghe didn't get, even after Kell Brooks beat Porter, guys under Eddie Hearn don't get the big fight until they leave him, or when they almost done with their career. Joe Calzaghe didn't fight Hopkins or fucking Roy Jones until both of them dudes were on the tail end of their careers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's definitely the strategist, you know what I'm saying? He's definitely a strategist.
I give him all the credit in the world for it. You know, I mean, after Brooks beat Sean Porter, what the fuck did he do after that? Diego Corrales, no. Timothy Bradley, no. Brandon Rios, no. All their fights was a no-go.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and kick it into the rest of this card, man. We're gonna do brief predictions. Luis Concepcion, he's actually becoming one of my favorite guys at 115. Like, that's actually a division we probably gonna talk about soon. Again, we probably we didn't. I don't think we talked about 115 yet. So we probably going to do a divisional spotlight on 115 next week or something like that. Concepcion, he's defending, you know, making his first defense of the junior bantamweight title he won against Kohei Kono. 2K, I'm going to let you like the little fellas. You big on these guys too. Quick prediction, how you see it happening?
Yeah, I got Concepcion taking the fight, man. I think he's on I like your five. He's a good fighter, but I just think Concepcion's on a roll right now, man. He's looking for greatness, and I think he's gonna. Yeah,
he's coming into his own right now, man. And like I said, 115 is a deep division. This is a guy you need to be watching out for in that division, along with the Quadrases and fucking, you know, El Gallo Estradas and fucking Chocolatitos. Like, Concepcion is easily just as talented as these guys, and, you know, definitely pay attention to him. You know, it wasn't just no coincidence that he beat Kohei Kono. Like, dude is nice. What do you think this looms as far as the division if he does win? What do you see happening with him? Do you see anything progressing as far as a unification with somebody possibly, or you think he's going to be avoided right now?
Talking about Concepcion?
Yeah.
Nah, he's not going to be avoided. I think guys like Carlos Cuadras will take him on. I think, like you said earlier, Inoue, I think that fight will possibly get made. I even think Juan Francisco Estrada will fight him.
Yeah, he's fought Quadras already, so, you know, but I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. He's picked up a little bit since then, you know. What was that, about like a year or two ago? Like a little bit over a year ago? So he's improved a lot since then. I wouldn't mind seeing that as a rematch, but probably Quadras could still get him at this stage. But it is definitely a good fight. I'll let you go ahead and finish your point, man.
Oh, no, I was pretty much done. There's one guy I do want to mention, Jerwin Nkaha, the guy that gave McJoe Arroyo his first loss. He's another guy that's probably on a mission just like Luis Concepcion is, and that fight could possibly be made. So I don't think guys will duck him. I actually think he's going to have some opportunities, man, if he gets past Jafar.
Okay. Just if you could give us a little insight on Jafar. I know he's undefeated, but is he do you think you could see any damage happening, or does he give Concepcion any kind of problems here other than him being his eyes?
Absolutely. He could catch Conception, man. Yafai's a big fucking puncher at that weight. He's 20-0 with 14 knockouts. Only problem is I think his reach is shorter than Conception. Conception's got some short-ass arms, so I'm not sure. They don't have I don't know Yafai's reach, but he's a fucking big hitter. I mean, he only problem is he hasn't really fought the bigger name guys of the division. So again, like I said, I just think the experience and the fact that he's on a roll, that he's gonna get past Yafai, man. But he can get caught.
All right, Bolo, you got anything you want to add on this as far as prediction-wise, Conception versus Yafai?
Yeah, man. I don't know why y'all have on Conception. Conception's fucking garbage. But
damn,
it is what it is. No, I'm just fucking around, man. I'm just playing, man. I do everything.
You better not let Scott Knight hear you saying that shit.
Hell yeah.
For real. Yeah, no, I agree with what 2K said. The only thing with Conception is he can, in the last fight I saw, you can counter Conception. You can time him and you can counter him. And dude that he's fighting is a big puncher, so. But, you know, I see Conception winning. He's one of them guys, like you said, him and that dude, Jerry and Akakov, they're starting to turn the corner now. So 115 is heating up.
All right, and we're going to go over these other couple ones. Well, these other two fights real fast. Just to let you know, Katie Taylor, that's Olympic medalist. She'll be fighting over there as well on the card. We're not going to go into her fight, but, you know, like I said, women's boxing is on the rise. I look forward to seeing them, a lot more women fighting, especially with the women's Olympic program getting better and it's increasing, more participation. It's only going to make the professional game better, you know, having that around. I expect them to grow more than the men at this juncture, actually. But that's just,
I hope.
You know, yeah, I actually expect them. I expect the big growth spurt in them more than the men, you know, right now as far as popularity. But let's get into this Callum Smith versus Luke Blackledge for Smith's title, you know, super middleweight title, regional shit again. He's actually in line to fight the winner of James DeGale and Badou Jack, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is pretty much him staying busy. How do you see this fight going? Potential prospects against DeGale or Jack? Do you see him doing anything to them in the future as well if he is victorious? I'll go ahead and start off with 2K again.
Well, Luke Blackledge, man, he's been cradled since getting knocked out by damn, I can't remember the dude's name, Rocky Feldon. A couple of years back, Rocky Feldon was a highly touted prospect out there in the UK, and he knocked him out in the first round. After that, they're like, hold up, hold your horses. We're not gonna put him in the ring with any more motherfuckers that could damage this dude like that. But Callum Smith will be the one guy in like 7 fights that they're gonna put him in the ring with, and I think he's gonna get knocked out again. Callum Smith is on a whole different level. Plus, like you said, they got this matchup with the winner of James DeGale Badou Jack looming around the corner for Callum as well, which will be his first crack at a title. So I think this is just a stay busy fight, just to make sure that he's in shape and he's ready for the winner of that fight. So I'm expecting a knockout.
Okay, so follow up. Who you got winning this one?
It's Callum Smith and what's the guy's name again?
He's fighting Luke Blackledge.
You know what? I'd take Callum Smith, but what's the fascination with fucking Callum Smith? I just want to know.
Man, you already know what it is. Like the UK and Eastern European thing is just hot right now. That's where the sport is popular right now over there. It's popping. You know, you got to give it his just due over there. That's just what it is.
Callum Smith got fucking popularity over here. I'm just like, man, what's the fascination with this?
I mean, yeah, you know, but it makes you seem like you know shit about boxing if you could mention UK guys. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is. If you can mention the UK guy, you know something about boxing. You know, for a brief moment, I think they did have the most world champions at the moment. You know, that was their claim to fame. So, you know, UK, big up on y'all. Y'all doing it. y'all got the popularity right now, but we gonna get it popping again.
First time in decades. Go ahead. we let little brother win a game.
I'm gonna say it like Wesley said to Billy Ho. The sun shines on the dog's ass some days,
Exactly.
But we go ahead and kick it off to our next one. Actually, I want to ask you guys something else following up on Smith. Do you guys think he has a good chance against DeGale or Badou Jack? Actually, Badou Jack probably won't even fight him because he said this is probably his last fight at 168. So I'll just say this in regards to DeGale. How do you see that happen? Do you think he's at the stage where he could beat a DeGale? Like, I know he has some of the height and all that, reach advantage over him, but has he got the skill level to beat Chunky?
Yeah, I think Callum Smith is not a worse fighter than Lucian Boutte or fucking God, I can't remember his name right. Rogelio Medina, exactly. And Marco Antonio Parabin. Even though James DeGale did knock out Parabin, but Rogelio Medina gave him some trouble. I don't think Callum.
I had Medina winning that fight. Actually, I thought Medina won the fight.
I did too.
That's a possibility. So yeah, I don't think he's a worse fighter than that guy. So yeah, and plus the way James DeGale fights, he fights really well in the first half of the fight. In the second half, he allows his opponent to take over the fight. So that could actually happen against Callum Smith. Yeah, he has a chance.
Yeah, he lets you back in the fight. James DeGale will let you back in the fight, and that's his downfall.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to send it over to my boy Cuba Loca, Bo, on this one. Your boy's back in action. What's this?
Don't ask me about this bullshit.
I got to do it.
No me piche de esto. Esto la cala la puta de mierda del copiado.
Yeah. Your boy, King Kong Luis Ortiz against David Allen, another stay busy fight. I'm happy to see him getting work, but I don't want to see too many of these. That's for damn sure. The Malik Scott debacle, and now he got this dude Dave Allen he's going against. Bo, I don't even know if he need to do a prediction on this one. I just want to see your thoughts on Ortiz's activity right now. So we gonna just put some kind of good light on this one. Go ahead, Bo.
I don't know what good light you can put on this one. He's fighting a guy with 10 fights. That's
one
all
loss.
I can say. He's
one loss in 10 fights, and it's to a guy on the same fucking card.
right, exactly. So he's fighting a guy with 10 fights. I think the only thing I can think of is maybe this is building up to Luis Ortiz, depending on Luis Ortiz's performance. Maybe this is building up to Luis Ortiz if Dylan White win, Luis Ortiz and Dylan White. Maybe it's possibility to building up to something like that. I can kind of see that a little bit. But outside of that, I'm going to be honest with you, man. This is really hard for me to say, but, you went from fighting Coney Thompson, Brian Jennings to fucking Malik Scott, now this motherfucker David Allen. I'm sorry, man. Luis Ortiz need to be like, yo, man, I didn't come over here to be a fucking circus sideshow. I came over here for you to give me some big fights. And that's what you need to fucking tell Eddie Hearn.
Well, that's the thing. Like, who was he lined up to fight against Golden Boy? What was the fight they were trying to make one?
Alexander Ustinov.
Okay. So I'm like, yeah, so he's going pretty much drop down 5 levels.
Not really. No, I disagree. Ustinov is not the same guy he was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, but Malik Scott, though?
Malik Scott and Ustinov are on the same level, in my opinion.
Same level,
Ustinov,
right now? Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Alexander Ustinov is trash. He got knocked out by Kubrat Pulov. He's trash, bro.
I actually like Pulov, though. Like, I think he got a good skill set.
I like Pulov, too, but you can't get knocked out by Pulov. Pulov's not a knockout puncher.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't get knocked out by that guy.
True. Good point. So do you guys see anything happening with Ortiz as far as him making major moves in 2017 with Eddie Hearn? Do you see anything big happening, or was it just some kind of wolf ticket? So was it a mistake for him to leave Golden Boy and go to Eddie Hearn? Like, we've seen him busy at least, the latter part of the year, but
it wasn't a mistake because it wasn't a mistake. He's staying busy. He's getting exposure. And over in listen, the one thing Eddie Hearn is doing, and we said over in the UK, you can fight mediocre fights, and people come out and support them fights. Case in point is Anthony Joshua and Molina. Okay, Anthony Joshua and Dylan White. That did what, 300, 400K? So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that over there because he's good at promoting and getting it done. He put on good undercard. But I'm just saying though, when you think about the biggest heavyweight he got right now is who? Joshua. He's not going to put Luis Ortiz in there with Joshua because he's trying to get Joshua built up for Klitschko, then hopefully a mega fight with Deontay Wilder. So, no, I don't see nothing big happening for him in 2017. But as long as he keeps him busy and he keeps him paid and, keeps him well-known, then, no, it wasn't a mistake because what was he doing under Golden Boy? He really wasn't doing that much under Golden Boy. So at least Eddie Hearn was finding bodies to toss in there with him. There was a phrase I heard earlier today. There's a whole lot of bodies. There's a whole lot of bodies you can find at a graveyard, and that's what David Allen represents to me. He represents a body he dug about the fucking graveyard and tossed to Luis Ortiz.
I think Luis Ortiz saw a sunken ship with Golden Boy, like we mentioned earlier. Man, Golden Boy really doesn't pay attention to anybody right now but Canelo. So he saw a sunken ship and he got the fuck out of there. I think it was a great move for Eddie Hearn, even though a lot of bullshit is happening.
Case in point to what 2K just said. Look at the situation. Look at the situation with Quadras. How he came out like, look, y'all motherfuckers got to pay me. You want me to fight some of these top dudes. And Chocolatito, right. Yeah. He came out and said, y'all got to pay me. You want me to keep fighting these top dudes. Then on top of that, when Oscar says promoters got to do a better job promoting, you got Jojo Diaz and Roman Gonzalez. They ain't getting nowhere near the push that Canelo is getting from Golden Boy.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, and we got one more from this card real quick. Scott Quigg making his return, 10-round bout, stay busy.
I'm not saying shit. I'm leaving these comments to 2K. You're not going to piss me off with this one.
Why do I got to do it?
You just let Bo punk you into it, basically. But I'm going to let y'all handle that. Yeah, I'm going to let y'all handle that one.
Man. Hey, look, man, I pay respect to my elders, man. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. But, man, this for the WBA International Featherweight title. Apparently, Scott Quigg has moved up in weight to 126. So, moving up to 126, this is his first fight there. I believe it's his first fight there. It is. Yeah, it is. He's fought within the limit before when he first started his career. That's why I don't want to jump the gun. But anyway, so he's there. He's trying to get a title shot. So they put him in here with this guy Jose Cayetano, who pretty much is just another C-level fighter in the division. You know what? I don't want to say C-level. He's B-level. He's B-level. That's disrespectful. But he's a tough guy. He's fought some of the best. Never been knocked out. It's a how do I put it? Dangerous fight for Scott Quigg coming off of a loss and going up in weight. But the fact that the fight is in the UK, if he's able to stay on his feet, he'll come home with the decision. He'll stay with the decision and possibly get an opportunity to fight Carl Frampton, who is he's been saying he wants to rematch again.
Oh, hell no. You got to see that shit again?
I agree.
We got another big heavyweight belt with title implications happening on this Saturday as well, man. We all thought Anthony Joshua would be fighting Joseph Parker this time of year for his title, but Parker decided to go the other route and go after the vacant WBO belt vacated by Tyson Fury. He'll be fighting Andy Ruiz Jr. in New Zealand on Saturday. Also on HBO. That's going to be televised, I guess, forgot with the Terence Crawford card. This is actually a pretty close, pretty good matchup. They sparred with each other in the past, so that there is some familiarity there between the two. Man, I'll go ahead and kick it off the boat, man. What's your thoughts on this fight?
Now, I actually like this. I actually like this fight. I think this is going to be a good telltale fight with Joshua Parker and what's the guy's name? Andy Ruiz. If Ruiz, and it's a title fight too, isn't it?
Yeah,
WBO.
This is for a WBO.
Yeah, WBO.
Were you ignoring me the whole time? Or was your motherfucker out? You was getting cussed out again. That's what it was. I know.
If Andy Ruiz wins, he'll be the first Mexican American to ever win a title. So he'll be the first, I think, American-born Mexican to ever win a title. So you got some history implications there. Yeah, he has a good chance. We don't really know what Joseph Parker really has because he hasn't really truly been tested. My only issue is I hope they get a referee that can fucking see and know when you hit a motherfucking, below the motherfucking belt. That's my only issue. I hope they get a ref that can see. But, no, this is definitely a pick'em fight in my opinion because, Ruiz, if I'm Parker, I'm going to attack Ruiz's body because Ruiz is like Chris Arreola. He bounces up and down in weight constantly, and that can be an issue when you're talking about going to the body and longevity as the fight goes on. So, but, yeah, I actually find this fight kind of intriguing.
Well, who you picking, man? You didn't give us a pick on it, though. That you left out the biggest part.
Oh, who am I picking?
Yeah.
I'm picking the motherfucker that has his hand raised when the bell rings.
Is it okay? Can I mute him now? Man, he been tripping all night, dog.
Look, I hate. You see, sometimes, man, when your kids get out of line, you got to correct them. Bo, Andy Ruiz will not be the first Latino heavyweight champion. It was John Ruiz.
Ruiz.
So I said American-born Mexican.
You saying, but Mexican though.
Hey,
I think Ruiz was Puerto Rican though, wasn't he?
No. John Ruiz is Mexican.
Okay.
And he was born in Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Okay, I thought New York.
He's an American-born Mexican. He's already the first one. Got to correct your children when they fuck up. Anyway.
Wait a minute. Who was first? Wait a minute. Where was John Ruiz? Wait a minute. Where was John Ruiz born?
Müvment, Massachusetts. That's in the United States, nigga.
I read that shit somewhere. So go ahead, man.
Nah, you good.
Right.
I'll correct your dumb ass over back. Anyway, but and also about the weight thing, I just seen I was calling nigga John Ruiz, Andy Ruiz, recently. The nigga is really thin for the fight.
Yeah, a freaky
really
thin.
thin.
Exactly.
Exactly. So that could either play a negative or a positive, but he did tell us, and we got to take we no longer have to take his word for it because we're actually seeing the physical result of it. He said, when I have back-to-back fights, I stay in training camp and I'm more serious and I'm able to handle my weight. And based on what we've seen, the motherfucker seriously handled his weight. So we'll see, man, how it goes. He looks like he's about 225. I might be ridiculous on my prediction on his weight, but he looks like he's about 225. Joseph Parker, I watched him train. Man, his hands are fucking fast, man, for a heavyweight.
Yeah.
John Ruiz got fast hands too. Andrew Ruiz has fast hands too. But, man, Joseph, the fucking mid trainer I was watching, bro, I don't know. Plus the fights in New Zealand. I don't know when exactly Andrew Ruiz got to New Zealand. I know his flight was delayed. So I don't know exactly when he got there. But New Zealand is on the other.
When did he fly out there? Did he fly this week or last?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know when he got out there. It's like a 17-hour flight, man, because I'm actually planning a trip to go to Australia. this coming February. It's summer right now in Australia, and I'm getting ready to plan a trip out there. So it's 17 hours from where I am. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it's the next day over there right now. You know what I'm saying? So if this motherfucker only flew out there a week in advance, I don't think that's enough time for him to get acclimated with training out there and, you know, just getting acclimated with the environment, man. So that could play a part as well. Plus the fact that they're trying to push Joseph Parker right now to be one of the next heavyweight champions. Man, if he doesn't knock him out, be ready for a robbery if it's a close fight. I mean, I don't want to say if it's a close fight, but be ready that there's a possibility of a robbery. It could.
With Ruiz being in the kind of shape you've seen him in recently, what do you think that's going to do for his speed? Like, he was already pretty fast for a big motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So is that, do you see him being up there with Parker right now, or?
Wait a minute.
Nah, not based on what I've seen, man. I've seen just looking at Parker's mid-work, man. That motherfucker was fast as fuck, bro. He looked like he was a goddamn, probably like a super middleweight. You know what I'm saying? The hand speed that I saw. But like I said, that weight can be detrimental, man. It can make Andrew Ruiz more tired. It can fuck with his stamina because he lost so much weight. Or it actually helps his stamina. You never know, man. So almost like
overtraining. Yeah.
Exactly.
Then in continuous camps. Yeah. Shit. Well, I guess both of y'all gave your prediction. There's one other fight of note on this card. Jeff Horn versus Ali Funeka. Welterweight fight. It's not. We're not gonna talk. I'm just putting it out there, man. I'm just saying that because Jeff Horn been rumored to fight Pacquiao recently by Bob Arum. So, you know what I'm saying, I just put that out there. Note, you know, that's the only other thing for that one. So, I don't know if y'all want to go into the other two. We can. I'm not gonna go. We're not gonna.
Motherfucker, John Ruiz is goddamn Puerto Rican.
That's what I said.
John Ruiz is Puerto Rican, man. Andrew Ruiz, if he would be the first Mexican-born American to win the title.
2K gonna get us in trouble with all this. They all the same shit.
They're not right. They're not saying Mexican, nigga. They're saying Latino. They don't say Mexican. They say Latino, nigga. Same shit.
But what did I say? I said if he wins, he'll be the first Mexican-born American to win the title. John Ruiz is Puerto Rican.
I'll give you that. It's still John Ruiz is still the first fucking Latino to win a heavyweight title, nigga. We're not gonna separate it. Oh well, he's the first, Polish guy. Get the fuck up, nigga. It's still Eastern European.
We did for Galata. We said he'd be the first Polish heavyweight champion we've ever had.
American Polish.
When Luis Ortiz won the title, he'd be the first fucking Cuban champion we've ever had. And goddamn, I would celebrate that shit like a motherfucker too when he won.
I bet you would. You biased man.
He ain't winning no title. Yeah, I know exactly. Luis Ortiz ain't winning no title, nigga.
All right, so we gonna do a quick one on this one. Eleider Alvarez, stay busy fight, man. Now this just came up in the news yesterday. Alvarez is actually Adonis Stevenson's mandatory. Like Ben is mandatory for like a year, pretty much. That was supposed to be the fight coming up. Then they had the stay busy fight coming up with Norbert Dabrowski coming up on Saturday. In the interim, and him and Adonis were supposed to fight in early 2017. So now, pretty much it's out there that Von Michael, their manager, trained the big trainer the manager out of Montreal. Like, he manages everybody out there, fucking Pascal, Stevenson, fucking Bitterbiev, like pretty much anybody that's anybody in Quebec, he manages them. Lucien Butte. Alvarez has decided to fight for his mandatory status against Lucien Butte instead of taking the fight that he's already earned against Stevenson. What the fuck is that? 2K, I'll go ahead and let you start on that one. Maybe you might be able to to shed some light on what the hell he's thinking? Because I don't understand it, man.
I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe he feels like he needs another fight before he gets in the ring with Adonis Stevenson because, let's face it, against that guy who took the fight on like 4 days' notice in his last fight, guess what he was hitting Eleider Alvarez with repeatedly? The straight left hand. Yeah. What is Adonis Stevenson's best punch? The straight left hand. So maybe he noticed that. Maybe his team noticed that. I was like, hey, bro, you got hit with too many left hands. We need you to get into another fight, man, so you can hone your defense a little bit. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
I mean, he could potentially lose his mandatory status against Butte, you know. I honestly think this is more of a, I won't say, I call everything a money grab now. They trying to grab some money. Butte is the bigger name out there. That's just what it is. He still probably sell everything out more than anybody in Canada. Like, he's the biggest name out there, even over Stevenson, Pascal, all them dudes. He still probably sells more in Montreal.
It's a fight in Canada? The fight's in Canada, right? Cause
it's in Montreal,
Alvarez, he lives in Canada, right? Alvarez?
Montreal, yeah. He stays there now, too.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm thinking what they're trying to do is basically make this the whatever fight happens, either Alvarez or Butte, they want it to be the biggest thing happening. And Butte is pretty much the money guy out there. So, Alvarez and Chilemba didn't really do too well, I guess, as far as viewership and all that. So I think they're taking that kind of approach with it, possibly. I don't think fucking Butte deserves this after the shit that happened with him and fucking the dude Jack. Like, it's too fucking soon. Like, I know he served the suspension or whatever they decided, but for him to be up for a title eliminator and all that shit right now is just too much. I'll go ahead and pass it over to Bo. You got any thoughts on this?
I don't know why anybody's surprised. The same thing happened to Lucas Braun. Fail the drug test, get banned, come back, and you in the line for a title shot. So no shock at all just hearing it happening. I mean, Lucian Butte is just getting more chances than a motherfucker. That's all I can say.
Exactly. How is he getting all these fucking title shots?
Miguel, Jack, now this. You know.
How is he getting all these chances at fucking titles, at fucking 168? We got Darrell, both of the Darrells. Everybody's up there. They don't get half the fucking opportunity, and this dude is losing. Like, he's been losing.
That nigga is a 168 version of BJ Flores. Stay getting chances, man.
You know what? Yup. That's
a pretty good comparison right there. I could agree with that, man. But I just wanted to put that topic out there because I didn't really understand what was going on with Alvarez's thought process, becoming a mandatory challenger for Stevenson for a belt. And then putting yourself in a position against a Butte to where you still got to retain that status. Like, that's just dumb thinking, man. But I guess we'll end it on our reviews. There's a lot of fights this fucking weekend. Even fucking Felix Diaz fights on fucking Saturday, man, in the Dominican Republic. I want to talk on that one. But, it ain't a big fight, just a stay busy one in the Dominican Republic for him. But big up to him. I want to see him in some big fights next year. That guy is slept on, man. I don't know. It's just something about him. Nobody want to fuck with him at 140 or 147. I could see him and Terence Crawford possibly fighting next year. I think if somebody's going to fight him next year, it's going to be T. Craw. What do you guys think about that? Do you see his breakout coming at 140 or 147?
Probably damn, that's a good fucking question, man. Damn.
I agree.
Man, I don't know. I don't know because I think they're gonna duck this nigga in both weight classes, dog. Because it's a. Do you think T.
Craw would take him? You think Bud Crawford would take him on? Like, that's the only guy I think that probably would be like, the fuck it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Right now.
But see, the problem is it's not up to Crawford. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, right, exactly. That's what I agree with Bo. And at the same time, I don't think that's a good business move for Crawford. Like, I do want to see the fight. Trust me, I don't take up for business decisions now one bit. But what I'm saying is Crawford is actually in line with trying to fight guys like fucking Pacquiao. He's talking about going 147 to take on the champions over there. Felix Diaz is actually underneath Crawford in terms of prestige. So going backwards and fighting a Felix Diaz is very high risk. That's not a good move for Crawford. I don't think Crawford takes the fight either. So, I don't know where he gets his. Adrian Broner's in a good position to fight him. I mean, especially if he were to look bad against Adrian Granados. He could still win that fight, but just look bad. He could be in a position to fight Felix Diaz. But I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know where he gets his big break.
There's definitely some guys out there at 140 I'd like to see fight, man. Granados one of them. I can't wait to see that AD Granados fight. Granados is.
You know who I would like to see Felix Diaz fight?
Who?
Amir Imam.
No, man.
Nah, you don't. It would be a fucking repeat of fucking Sammy Vasquez. I'm not even lying. It would be a fucking repeat.
Man.
You got Omar Figueroa Jr.
That's a good one. No.
Nah. Figueroa, nah.
He kills him. Figueroa has no fucking defense. He kills him.
Yeah. Figueroa ain't fought in like a year neither, man. And he probably gonna come back like 160. That nigga didn't jump weights more than a motherfucker. He was 147 in his last fight.
How about Maurice Hooker?
Yeah, he was.
How about Maurice Hooker?
Maurice, man, you know he beat Mo Hooker. Considering what happened in his last ago, yeah, Mo Hooker got to go back to the drawing board, man.
Mo Hooker is trash, man.
Yeah, Diaz will get in that ass right there, man. Like that. That's easy work for him.
Okay, and henceforth, that's why I agree with 2K, because all them names I just named, ain't nobody gonna take a chance of. Felix Diaz, he got robbed in the Peterson fight, but the skill set was so off the chain that all these motherfuckers that I named and what 2K, they're not finna take their chance, man. They're just not finna take their chance.
Nope. All right, and pretty much for boxing fans out there, this is a big weekend for fights, man. So if you could find a stream link to any of these damn fights, you know, even fucking Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is fucking fighting this weekend. So tune in wherever the fuck you can. This is a boxing weekend. College football is pretty much done for a minute. Watch some goddamn boxing. You ain't got no fucking excuse now. That said, we're going to go into the final blow. Bo, what you got for us today, man?
I normally don't do this, but I'm going to end the final blow on somewhat of a sad note, but a positive note. It's not just about boxing. Over this weekend, we heard of a fighter here in Chicago, a young guy, Brown, was shot and killed. And this was a kid that had great potential. He had the ability to go somewhere. He was a boxer. He was undefeated. But he stayed here in Chicago because he wanted to prove to people that you can stay here, remain here, live in Chicago, and still make it. He didn't want to just leave. He had family here and everything. And he was shot and killed, and it was senselessly. And what I want to say is, you know, to his family, you know, we wish him well. We lost another young guy, 25 years old, dies. This city that I live in, we need to do something about it. Something needs to stop. But what I also want to say is, the people who want to take up arms for a cause, don't wait to a named guy or someone like Ed Brown shouldn't be the reason why you want to take up a cause. You should want to take up a cause because that cause is worth taking up. Yeah. We do need to do something about this. This shit needs to fucking stop. It really does. I wholeheartedly believe that. It needs to stop. But don't just jump in and tell me you want to take up a cause because of this young man dying. And it's tragic. Don't get me wrong, it's tragic. But there's a lot of Ed Browns out there that's being killed. So take up a cause because that's the right fucking cause to take up. Don't just take it up because you saw it on TV and you feel it's worth it. No. Take up a cause because it's the right thing to take up. That's why I've started my channel. That's why we have this movement. That's why 2K got his channel. That's why Twan does what he do. Because there's always a cause. And don't pick the cause, let the cause pick you. But don't just take it up for the sake of, this is what everybody's doing right now. This shit with useless violence, with black-on-black crime, even right here in Chicago, and I grew up on the fucking West, this shit needs to stop. And it ain't going to stop until we all come together and bring light to everything that's wrong and really have a come-to-Jesus moment and talk about it.
It's definitely sad to hear news like that. What was he, an undefeated prospect? What, 20-0, or what was his record?
Undefeated prospect, 20-0.
Yeah.
He fought on the,
sad to hear, man.
He fought on the undercard of, I think, was it Pacquiao Vargas?
Wow. That's sad to hear, man. I was just out there in your city over the weekend, man. Beautiful city, even though it was cold as hell, being winter and all that. It's a beautiful city, man, and for it to be marred with violence and the kind of stuff, we be hearing about in the news, I just hate to hear it be that to be the reflection of the city, man, because it's a lot more than that, So definitely would like to bring some light to that situation. We want to dedicate this show to Ed Brown. Our thoughts are with him and his family. Definitely got to end these senseless killings. A lot of good people are being taken along, with this violence, 25 years old, that's the last thing you should be thinking about, losing your life in that manner, you know what I'm saying, especially when you're not into anything negative, you're putting a positive energy out there like that. That's not something that should happen, man. So definitely need to get that looked at and, Chi-Town come together. A lot of the stars out there trying to do it. D. Wade came back to Chicago. That was one of the reasons why he came back home, because he felt he had a need to be there for this kind of stuff. So, big up to Bo bringing that up for the final blow. Definitely sad to hear, man. And with that, we're going to conclude the show, man. For our two co-hosts that couldn't be here today, Bernard, you did cool, you know what I'm saying? Hope to have you on next week, man. Stay up. We held it down for you. You know what I'm saying? To my other co-host, Bo, Truth and Facts About Boxing, check them out. You want to drop your Twitter and your YouTube and all that right now if while you got a chance?
Yeah, Truth and Fact About Boxing. You can also follow us on Truth _FactBox1 on Twitter, and also on Instagram, Truth _FactBox1.
All right, and our other co-host, we got 2K from the Guys of Boxing Talk. He got a show as well with his partner, Chef. Go ahead and drop your info for your show, YouTube, Twitter, if you got any of that,
Yeah, it's just what you said. Just go to YouTube, type in the Gods of Boxing Talk. Lead you directly to my channel. Also on Twitter, it's at Boxing Gods. So yeah, man, let us know. Hit us up. Watch some shows and give us some feedback.
All right, show. And I am Twan the Divine Liberty, writer, video journalist for HoopJab.com. I don't really do the social media thing. I just put out articles when I put them out, dog. Other than Facebook, you can catch me on my Facebook talking shit in these boxing groups. So get at me on that or check out my articles, dog. Other than that, together we make up the movement, and it is what it is. I'm saying, to the next episode. Peace, y'all.